is going on, everybody, and welcome to the long-awaited reveal of Scruffy's new haircut.
Yep, let's go. I am the center stage now. We don't care about you, Sin. Sorry.
Now that everybody's seen it, we can stop. We can end this. It's fine.
Yep.
That's all we need to do.
Dude, you actually look like now you belong in Ohio, like that backwoods country of Ohio. Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah, boy. All right.
This is why, guys. This is why you should tune in live.
Yeah.
Good God.
To be able to
Get
see
this bullshittery.
Good God.
It's actually kind of hard for me to not take my focus off of your head. I don't know.
Wow, that's honestly, I've been waiting for you to say that.
I mean, it's better than a man bun, I guess. God, hey.
Sen, are you saying a scruffy head game strong?
Yeah, it's something. It's something. I don't know if strong is the proper word to be used here, but
Couple years, Mom.
Man, it's okay. Anyway, well, welcome.
He reminds me of an actor. And I can't place it, but there's a specific actor in a movie. I can't remember what it is. I'll have to.
You're talking about the guy off of Sling Blade? French fry tater.
It might be.
And you know what's in? If I did have that mullet though, I could have been Joe Dirt, and that'd have been something.
God, I know you're coming down this way. Please don't have your haircut like that, because you are gonna get. You're gonna get made out to be like an inbred white trash bumpkin from like St. Stephen's.
God, leave him alone, guys. He's already dead.
How you get that from this haircut? But okay,
man. Because you gotta understand where I live in the South, bro. So like in the South down here, and look, Bill, he's from West Virginia. There's parts of West Virginia, man, where like you can look at and be like, I don't talk to those type of people. We don't. Those type of people have their family tree goes up one line. Like
I don't know, man. I think there's worse type of people out there, and one of them is actually talking right now.
You were the only one talking to you.
Okay, shut up. I meant it in another way. One of them isn't talking. One of them's cool. One of them's okay.
See, right? you get one bad haircut and look what happens.
Oh God!
God damn it! Let's move on. All
hey
right?
Man, I'm glad. You look good. I mean, did you do it yourself?
No, fuck no.
I'm just kidding. All right, you look good, man. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. Welcome, guys, to episode number 56 of the long-awaited and returned pre-patch podcast. I do want to say, obviously, happy to be back. It's been almost a month now. We've had a lot of stuff going on, personal wise, health wise. If you guys have followed along, we were out of town, and then I had. If you guys are not familiar with it, I have a thing called Klein-Levin syndrome, or KLS, Sleeping Beauty syndrome. Unfortunately, was dealing with that over the last couple weeks. So in that, I'm not able to really kind of function. So the guys graciously decided to not, do the show and wanted to wait until we were full strength. So much love goes out to these guys. They checked in every single day. I know a lot of you guys in the channels as well checked out. A lot of our followers and fans and viewers, checked in. So appreciate everybody that checked in on me over the last couple weeks. Much appreciated, and the whole pre-patch crew is grateful for you guys. It is episode 56. We are back. This is gonna. We got so much to talk about. We actually had to cut some stuff because there's just too much to cover to go over for a month's long worth of stuff. But we're gonna try to hit everything that we possibly can. It's gonna be a great show. Needless to say, a lot of new announcements came out even just this week. But look, if you can't join us live, obviously, you can go and download us at anchor.fm/prepatch podcast or your favorite podcast app. Check us out.
Oh, big announcement as well, just to let you guys know. We have been accepted into the program to be able to put our video podcasts on Spotify.
Well, there you go.
So,
oh snap.
Well, that comes directly off of the back of you guys. Yep. So
that's dope.
That's awesome. No, super excited to hear that. So, you guys, if you want to check out the video, obviously you can go to one of our VODs across, my channel, Scruffy's channel, or Enigma's channel here on Twitch, or go over to Bill's channel on YouTube, and you can check us out live there, because obviously these are all go up as VODs. But hey, now you can check us out on Spotify, which is awesome too. So, and I know that we got approved also for the sponsorship program as well, correct?
Yeah, we got to figure that out. You guys might start hearing like pre-roll ads
Maybe.
on the
On the post.
yeah, on the post and everything like that. So it won't interrupt anything of what we're doing. Like we're not going to take breaks to do ad sponsorships, but at the start of the show you might hear either an ad for Anchor or something else, depending on when we actually get the the sponsorship from other programs and other companies. So
but here's the thing, right? The reality of it is that this is not free, right? Like this it's free for us. Like it's not free for us. We spend money to do this. Like there's software that's involved. There's all that kind of stuff that's involved. So, hey, look, there may be ads. We don't know yet. We haven't decided, but it's a big step for our the show. And obviously, the more that we're able to kind of get, the more we're able to put back into the show and kind of increase this as well. But that is not the important thing. The important thing is that we are back. And like I said, we have a lot to talk about. Gonna go around the horn. How's everybody doing? Bill, Scruff, we talked about your haircut, so we'll leave that alone. But Enigma, how are you guys doing?
pretty good.
I'm good.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
solid work day.
Yeah.
I had my toe into a counter, so now I'm thinking it's broken. But it's
Oh, that's
all
fine.
it's all Jeezy, baby.
It'll buff out.
It'll buff out.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
I'm happy to potentially be the one with the longest hair on the podcast again.
Yeah, you're back to it.
There
back
you
to
go.
taking the throne.
No, you definitely are. I don't have that long of hair, but
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
my beard might rival yours, but you're getting pretty close.
Really, he's got a pretty hefty beard as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I obviously we don't see yours, but
Exactly.
Well,
we'll never know.
if I grow my hair out into my back here, then I will absolutely trump all of you
Good
guys.
God.
So
Yeah.
I fit the bill of the hairy Jewish man. So yeah.
My day was actually really good too because guess what? I went to the DMV and I got.
Are
in
they
and
the ones
out
that
in
gave you
5
that
minutes.
haircut?
I got in and out in 5 minutes. That's like record time for any DMV, I swear.
Haircut looks like
was
it
this
was a 5-minute haircut.
yeah, was this a pre or post
Yeah.
haircut?
Does it really, Enigma? I think you're just bullshitting now just to say shit, okay? Now, we don't even see your haircut. You're too shy to go on camera.
Shit.
Oh
So it's because you're
man.
back, but really, we know you're bald.
See, we
Yeah,
gotta
that's
get look.
exactly
This is what happens when we can't get all this like toxicity out of our blood. We just go in at each other. You should hear the stuff that we say to each other on voice comms when we're not streaming. Holy shit, it's crazy.
rough.
Well, anyway, again, we're super stoked to be back, guys. So let's jump into it, right? So,
Yeah.
Twitch news. I thought we were gonna have. I mean, I say this all the time. Like, I was like, oh, we're not gonna have really much to talk about regarding Twitch or YouTube news. And really, for the most part, the platforms themselves have been kind of quiet. I don't think there's really been much to come out across the two platforms in regards to themselves. There was some kind of crazy news, and I don't know. The first thing I really don't care as much to talk about, but it is somewhat bigger news, and we do kind of need to say something about it. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with Aiden Ross. You guys know who he is?
No.
Okay.
No.
So Aiden Ross is a IRL streamer. He dabbles in like think of him like XQC, but not as like toxic as XQC, but just as dumb as XQC in a way. You know what I mean? Like, which by the way is really sad because if anybody doesn't know, that's an act. XQC is actually insanely intelligent, and he just puts on to be fucking stupid for his show. But
That's smart, actually.
yeah, I guess. I mean, it works for him. But hey, but Aiden Ross has been banned indefinitely off of the platform. Which is actually the news here. Like, so this guy is like someone that, honest to God, I think kind of gave a bad name to Twitch in general. Like, he was this. If you had to like pick like the atypical California like Gen Z kind of like person, right? That just like fit that like I don't want to be around you because like you're annoying, right? And you're just like that. Like it's just like that person that you're just like, God, please, like I don't want to be around. That was Aiden Ross, right? Like that was that kind of person. And then you give that person a bunch of money, and so then they become like the rich person like that. You know what I mean? Like, so he'd been banned off of Twitch several times for minor, back and forth things or whatever. But he says he doesn't know why he's banned indefinitely, but he is permanently banned, and Twitch is saying he's never coming back. So obviously,
Is this
whatever
another
he did
Dr.
is,
Disrespect thing.
I don't. I don't like the Dire Disrespect stuff. I think was more or less him like starting a competing thing, right? I I think this is just he did something really bad, and there's rumors that it's known what he did, but I don't know, man. I just in any case he's been banned indefinitely, and he was a large streamer, like he was one of the top streamers on Twitch. So when he would stream, so just wanted to let everybody know that he's been banned indefinitely.
Like, which is a better place now.
Word.
Yeah. So Twitch, yeah, I think Twitch is a better place for it. The one that is kind of, I think a topic that I would like to spend a little bit of time talking about is Angry Joe. You guys are familiar with Angry Joe's show, right?
Yeah, I saw he's suing.
CBS.
Okay.
Yep. So he's going after, well, he's threatening to sue. Let's just say that he's threatening to sue CBS right now over some reviews that apparently they used and of his without his approval. So the reason I wanted to bring this up and wanted to kind of talk about it is that the state of kind of where this goes, it also too, like CBS is counteracting this by saying, hey, look, like this is technically free usage, like you don't have the rights to be able to do this because it is like informative and whatever, and that we can go in and use this because it is fair use policy. Like it basically, Joe is saying that the CBS is abusing YouTube's fair use policy. The sticky situation, and we talked about. Go ahead.
That's not YouTube's fair use policy. That's just copyright law in general.
Well, yeah, but YouTube has a policy specifically there to build around protecting their
copyright law.
Right, but I'm saying it's built specifically around creator content and the ability to reuse said content. What CBS is saying is that, well, they got approval from YouTube to use the content. Angry Joe is going, it doesn't matter if you get the approval from YouTube to use the content. I still own the content. This is my content. You can't use.
They're playing the loopholes pretty much.
Right. So the big thing
there are loopholes in YouTube's.
Well, there's a gray area in all of this when it comes to content creation, because like the reality of it is that if this wanted to go down this path, right, technically Xbox could go, because it was specifically around I think Halo's Infinite and that kind of stuff. So Halo could go there and go, well, you don't have the right to use our game as content for your content. And then it's just weird. So I wanted to kind of get your guys' thoughts on this. Like, you know, where do you think that this is a beneficial argument to have, or do you think that it's just kind of let loose? Do you think Joe has an actual valid stance?
I think so. I'm not exactly sure though what CBS they were using, just like part of like his reviews for a game, or I'm.
So they were using it
on that.
CBS was basically using it on one of their, I guess their television shows or TV shows. Basically they let's see, company issued multiple claims against his initial let's see. Yeah, basically just used his review on some of their shows.
I don't know if he's got a good chance, honestly, against CBS, but I feel for him having his content used like that without permission. I mean, that's always kind of shitty. But I mean, if it's
I guess also too they're going after him because now they're saying that because he gave a review of the edit of the Halo Paramount Plus series, which CBS is a part of.
Which is terrible, by the way. Don't watch it.
Be careful, man. We're gonna get sued by CBS.
Yeah.
But I guess he used clips from that and as well, and so I don't know.
Clips.
Like this is this is fucking crazy, man. Like
I don't know from a legal standpoint, if they've made it or if they've transformed it enough to be claimed underneath transformative content. He has no stance. He has no leg to stand on at this point. But if they literally just took his review and copy and pasted and just showed the review on the thing, then yeah, he 100% has a claim to it, because that's the whole thing with copyright laws. It has to be at least 20% different, right?
Yeah.
It either has to be 20% different or it has to be educational in some way or transformative in some way, right?
And if they
So
played the YouTube, like the
if
gray
they
area, like they definitely probably just played like 30-second clips or whatever.
yeah.
Like that's all it
So
takes.
if they've used that content, if they've used that video and they've actually done something over it, and it's not just his content being showcased on another fucking channel on a mainstream media platform, right? Then he has no leg to stand on. But if they literally have just here's a review of this and have played it, then yeah, 100% he can take him to copyright claims court and
Well,
probably
it
get quite a bit of substantial money out of it.
it looks like there's a lot to unpack here too, because the other side of it too is that they're actually copyright striking him for using the content of the Paramount Plus series,
Yeah.
of the Halo series.
Well, and again, if 100% it lays in the court of if he was if it was transformative enough to copy or to claim that as it's 20% different, they have no leg to stand on. The problem with it is that it's a small, I mean, relatively small. In words or in descriptions of small compared to CBS, right, which is a mainstream media corporation taking on Angry Joe, which is a content creator on YouTube, right? Obviously there's a little bit of a functional difference between their legal counsel, right?
Well, the thing is,
CBS has entire legal
they're not going to go
teams
after
do this.
they're not going to go after Angry Joe. They're going to go after YouTube.
They'll go after YouTube, yeah, and
because
then
YouTube's the one with the pockets. YouTube's got money, right?
Yeah, and then YouTube will basically go after Angry Joe.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, and this has been the topic that we've talked about a little bit throughout the show, but I mean, this is the world that I think we live in, and why copyright and DMCA is such like a weird thing, because again, the reality of it is that all of us, including like what we're about to do, right? We all use someone else's content to be able to create content that someone else uses, right? So it's like, but again, that's also the news, right? News has been doing that forever, right?
It's creative, yeah.
right,
It's creative content being changed and or altered for educational and or informative means, right? Like that's the whole reason why we have copyright claims and we have copyright law, is because you, at a certain point somebody else has done something that you're doing, right? And you can't get past that. That's just the world in general. Somebody else has done whatever you're trying to do. So
do you think that with the progression of this, right? I mean, I guess, does this signal to people that like CBS is run by a bunch of old farts that don't understand what it is and how this all works?
Are you asking, does CBS know what they're doing when they go after?
I mean, like
YouTuber?
when I look at
100%, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, do you think that they fully understand and grasp like the concept? Like, I think there's companies out there that really understand it and get it, right? There's companies that go, like, for instance, Rockstar says, hey, you know what? Do whatever you want, right? Yeah, I get it. Like, and they push, because they understand that our peers are driving money to their game, right? Do you think that, and I guess I bring this up because to me, you see this a lot with like record labels, right? They're old, they're out of date. It's just the way that things work. CBS, right?
Yeah.
An old media, old style, kind of company. Do they fully understand and grasp like the world that is around them to say, hey, look, like this is how stuff happens. This is how shit gets reviewed. And like, ultimately is it maybe like what you hit on, that show sucks. And so it's just like, hey, you're out here giving us bad press. We can't have that. This is like kind of a form of censorship.
Yeah, in a way, I would imagine it's them trying to. It's the same shit that like, Nintendo has done in the past, or that 2K Games has done in the past, where they get a bad review and they go after the reviewer, right? Like they're just going after people because it gets their name out in the spotlight. It gets the fact that they're not going to take that shit from content creators out in the spotlight, and then it puts it's kind of like a fear mongering tactic so that people stop making bad reviews about it, right? Because Angry Joe is not a small content creator, right? We all know who Angry Joe is. If you go up to a random person and you say, hey, do you know Angry Joe? Probably 50% chance they're going to be like, yeah, I know who Angry Joe is.
I didn't actually know who he was.
You really didn't?
You're
I had
you're
no
the
idea.
outlier.
I thought you were talking about Angry Video Game Nerds.
He's been around for a long time. That's all I'm saying. Like his name is a household name.
I recognize him. I do.
Yeah, his name is a household name just as much as like Total Biscuit's name is a household name from the people that watched him in the past, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where he is known for what he does, and he's known for his anger rants. He's known for his video game rants, his TV show rants, and everything like that.
Yeah.
These publishers, these mainstream media do not like that, and they're going to try and fearmonger people into being like, hey, if Angry Joe made a bad publicity stunt with them, they could come after you too. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just yeah, it's a sticky situation. It's just a
Yeah,
bad.
too. It looks like he's getting a lot of claims too from this, like copyright claims on YouTube. I'm sure they're
yeah,
digging into the past of what he's done.
Well, the problem is, like I said, if you've got CBS going after YouTube's not just gonna be like, okay, like they're gonna obviously, take it and they're gonna run with it. And so now, yeah, I mean, this could threaten his livelihood. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. I mean, this also stirs up other possible corporations of looking into him as well, seeing if he's infringed on any of their territory.
well, it's
pretty
not
much.
just necessarily him. It's gonna be where does YouTube stop at this? Like, does YouTube go and say,
Yeah.
okay, we only do this, right? Or is he gonna go their channel, everyone's channel? Is Bill's channel next? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where do they stop and kind of
Lost my
say,
channel, bro. They can have it.
That's the problem with a lot of like YouTube and Twitch when it comes down to like DMCA, right? That's the issue with a lot of these streaming services is that when it comes down to it, when you get some kind of a type of claim like this, instead of just being like rolling over and be like, okay, well, we got to do whatever we can to make these guys happy, they need to be like, look, your content is not yours when it's changed.
right? Yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, it's a real sticky situation. It's a downward spiral, unfortunately. But we'll keep you guys updated.
Speaking of other people that have been banned, though, Destiny was banned as well. A few
Forgot
weeks
about
back.
that. That was a while ago, but I mean,
Mhm.
obviously gone for a while.
So is Soda Poppin'.
Yeah,
Really?
Destiny's
Oh, I didn't
permanently
hear that.
banned. I don't think
so-
Soda Pop is
no,
It was
Soda-
permanent. Yeah.
Soda Poppin's not permanent. Isn't Destiny kind of a
an
Yeah.
asshole. Yeah.
yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, with one of the things that came up as well as which I don't know if we talked about. Actually, I don't think we did. I think we were gone during when this came out. Have we talked about Twitch's thing about banning misinformation?
I don't think so.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so obviously no. So then I guess there is Twitch news. Twitch has the ability now to ban based off of what they feel is misinformation. So
Not surprising.
the
I
question
kind of forgot about that.
the question here kind of rises up is
What do they consider
who's determining
misinformation?
misinformation? Well,
Who's determining what the misinformation is? Yep.
I mean that's the
Yeah.
scary thing about this, right? Like
That's the issue on. It's the same issue on YouTube. Who's determining the content violations on
And
YouTube
Twitter.
and
Yeah.
Twitter and Facebook, everything.
It'll probably come down to another dice roll or just a very opinionated side.
yeah, but
Oh
that's
yeah, it'll be the highest leaning side. Will
My,
get it.
Yeah.
here's my thing with it is that if they can, because people have been banned for it already, like people have already gotten the ban on it. If I don't see at some point Hassan getting a ban for misinformation,
No, he
then,
won't.
then I'm gonna know where this lies. I
he
don't,
won't.
I don't, yeah, oh yeah, I
He's
don't.
protected. Twitch loves to protect their big content creators.
That's
you
what
know
I'm
that.
saying. Like that's gonna be a huge issue if I see
Yeah,
where
he-
Hassan doesn't get banned for some of the stuff that he talks
Yeah.
about.
He won't.
So, it's interesting, man. This is interesting times that we live in. And you got Big Papa. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but in the news. All right. Well, we're going to move over, guys, to what we've been playing. And there's a lot that we've been playing. I'm going to kind of work backwards here with this. So, Scruff, I'm going to have you go first. Bud,
Oh, for sure.
you were playing Fusion Fall, right?
Fusion Fall, and this is a very old game. I mean, not very old, but it's from
I mean, it's pretty old.
it's from 2008, bro. I was 8 years old when this game came out, and that's when I started playing it. And I mean, the reason I'm talking about it here today is just because, well, one, it's what I've been playing, and two is after 14 years of playing it, I finally reached the max level in this game, even after it was shut
14
down
years, man.
originally.
Well, this is
so
not.
this
This
is Fusion.
is
that?
this is someone else's private, like a private server, right?
It's a private server. Yeah, there's a few private servers that have been brought back by the fans because this game came out in 2008 and inevitably shut down in 2013. The company, and I'm forgetting their name, who developed it originally, actually went bankrupt in around 2010, I think. and so Cartoon Network, who was publishing it, and also the whole name of it, then tried taking over, which obviously Cartoon Network is not known for creating or maintaining games, so they ran it into the ground.
That was a shocker.
Which sucks because it was a great game. But I mean, all right. So essentially, what this game is, for many of you who I'm sure don't know, it is a very light version of an MMORPG. I like to honestly consider it like the Marvel universe or like the MCU of Cartoon Network, because it's this idea of taking all of your favorite like Cartoon Network characters from many generations, something from like Ed, Ed and Eddie to the Powerpuff Girls to Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory. Like, you got them all in here, and putting it all into one universe, where you're all joining together, battling this evil that is invading the world called Fusion, or led by a mass destructing dude named Lord Fuse, who is pretty much the final end all be all of this game. And it's just a fun little MMORPG that I used to play back in the day, where you collect nanos, which are little versions of the Cartoon Network characters. So if you're watching the gameplay right now, you can see that I just died. That
After 14 years, still not good at it.
Still not good to know. But I mean, the game was actually pretty tough. Like a lot of games back then, games as they're, being old, they're just harder. The difficulty was a lot higher. Which
I don't think they had Toonami in this, did they?
They had.
Well, it'd be the character.
I
I don't think they would have had
name?
Toonami, because Toonami would none of the
No.
stuff that was playing on Toonami would have been owned by Cartoon Network.
No, yeah, but like they had Boomerang. They had Boomerang, but not Toonami. But there's weird tie-ins to a lot of that stuff too, but we don't. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I mean,
do you actually still see people on, like, can you see are there other people playing this with you?
right in this gameplay, I'm actually playing with somebody right now.
Oh, wait, there you
which
go.
I
You showed up, yeah.
right there.
pretty dope.
Yeah, I was usually a solo player, but that's actually one of my viewers. We were playing together. He found me from Twitch as I streamed this, so we started playing together a little bit. But there was definitely, of course, more players back in the day. But there are a decent amount of players who still play this server, and then there's a whole nother server that is actually a lot more popular. Yeah. So like I said, you have all your favorite cartoon characters, network characters in this, and it was just a good time. It was a pretty grindy game though for back in the day, and I think that's
All games back in the day were grindy games.
that's why it honestly failed though, because this game obviously had a more of a target audience for children and kids, as it was a Cartoon Network game. So when you put a kid in an MMO, he's not going to have the attention span that
Well, I think they marketed
do.
at the wrong audience, man. Because I mean, I get
Yeah.
the problem here is that you're talking about an audience that would their parents would be like, get the fuck outside, like stop being inside. Like, you just watch all these cartoons. You're not getting on the computer to go play
like more cartoons.
right? Let's play more cartoons. Like, get the fuck outside.
Yeah.
So
That's true. My mom kicked me out many times, so I tried playing this game.
so yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think they just marketed toward the wrong audience, but I guess this is why you're not playing Lost Ark. You're playing too much goddamn Fusion Fall, a game that died.
I was gonna say I came in multiple times. Yeah, I came in multiple times to a stream. Was like 2021 or 2022 game Lost Ark. Nah, the fucking what's it called, Drake.
And
Nah, and then 2008 Cartoon Network game built for kids. Yeah,
right?
Yes. Dude, honestly, I mean, this,
hey, enjoy what
this
you
game
want,
was a
man.
nostalgic feel for me. That's why I still play it. But honestly, I just have a good time with it still.
You can play WildStar's private servers, right?
I know. I want to.
I mean, look, man, this must be the show we're gonna give Scruffy a lot of shit, because we're giving him shit about his haircut. Now we're giving him shit about the game he plays.
It's okay.
Like, I fucking hate you guys. I don't wanna do it.
Let it be the roast sesh of Scruffy. Everyone roast me in the comments.
He'll slap us like Chris Rock got slapped.
How do you get into this game? Like, not I'm not asking as a smart ass question. I'm like, legitimately, if someone wanted to play this game, how would they do it?
Find a private server. This one specifically is Fusion Fall Retribution, and you usually can join it through their Discord, which you could just quick Google search will get you in, or Open Fusion is another source of private servers. So
Okay.
simple
Well,
as that.
there you go. All
Yep.
right. Well, moving on. I'm gonna kick off this as well. So I have been playing a couple things, actually a lot of different things prior to my episode. And one of them was Stranger of Paradise. I saw Bill play it, or else play the demo of everything, and I was intrigued. Right, it's a Souls-like game, style kind of set in the Final Fantasy universe.
Are we gonna get hit by this if we're?
No,
Okay.
you're fine.
Sound.
So, the reason I have said stopped streaming it, I still play it, is because of the bullshittery that is the DMCA fucking non-streaming claim that comes up as soon as you start this game. At least on PC. I don't know if it comes up on console. I don't know. But the moment you turn it on, you get it. And most people just go, yeah, whatever, okay, click it. And that's what I'm assuming that most of the people in the category of streaming this game do. But they're like, unless you have specific written or emailed instructions from Square to be able to stream this game, you're not supposed to stream this game. Like, in the sense of, well, so to answer your question, yes, technically we can get in trouble for this, but I'm rolling that we're not. I'm just saying. And here, I'll do this. I'll pause it because I don't want to get.
I was about to say, like, let's not.
I'll just
show the video.
I'll just pause this. So you're not supposed to stream, like, right? Like, mind blown here. I'm just like, why? And their whole thing is based. If you read it, it's based on story. It's based on like strategy. They want it to be a very like free flowing game. Like, you experience it and don't want your things ruined.
Which is weird, man, because the game ain't that deep.
It's not. Like, it's a good game. I'm having fun with it. It's fucking difficult as shit. I will say that. Like,
are you playing on the hardest?
of course. So.
Well, this game is actually fine to play on the hardest, unlike God of War, where you just throw an axe at 20 minutes.
Yeah, but I enjoyed that.
I'm glad you had fun with it.
But I mean, like, it's 2022, right? Like, I just want to make sure we're in the right year. That I'm like,
They're taking it back to like early 2000s. Like, they're trying to make it like this is a brand new game that you had to find like a manual to play or something. Like,
This
why are they
reminds
trying
me.
to keep this a secret?
This reminds me back to like when XD was doing its like X Defiant, the Ubisoft shooter game.
Yeah.
It was doing its first playthrough, and they're
No,
like, "Yeah,
no,
close,
you can't
close your
play in a
curtains,
room with
shut your
open
doors."
windows, yeah.
right.
That was funny. This is
It just blows me
know.
away because the other thing about it was that the the beta was like, yeah, play whatever you like, stream whatever you want. But like, then the game comes out, and I'm like, why is nobody streaming this? And then when I
was about to say, is that why I've literally heard
nothing,
like,
nothing,
from this?
nothing. They're like, you know, a lot of the, it's crazy.
That and it's short, and I've heard some reviews saying it's not that great.
I mean, it's like, so it's fun.
The
like,
gameplay is really good.
yeah,
I'm sure,
I mean,
yeah.
I have a blast playing it. The issue that I have is that you spend a shit ton of times in menus, like a shit ton of time in the menu system.
Yeah, it's not optimized for the Neo style loot grind.
Yeah, and because you're getting just so much shit, it's like, oh my god, like every fucking couple seconds you're like more than Borderlands. Like, we're gonna talk about Tiny Tina's as well. We've been playing that, but like even more than that, like Tiny Tina's, you get a lot of loot. Borderlands, you get a lot of loot. In this game, it's like it makes that look like shit, and it's like you're only getting very few amounts of things, and you're in the systems a lot. But it's I mean, I don't know, it's fun. Like, the job system is great. Yeah, the story is
Job system's okay. I'm
like
disappointed with the job system. It's not as each job isn't as unique as I had wanted. It's mainly the weapons that give the unique feel, and not necessarily the job themselves. Like,
Yeah,
there's some that are like fairly unique, like your magic classes are pretty well done, but I'm fairly disappointed with the way some of the classes have done things, especially the multi-weapon classes that don't feel like that class. They just,
I mean, I guess
they could have done it better.
my whole thing is that I agree. I think they could have absolutely done it better. But I think it's the first like crack at this. Like, I think it's a solid attempt and it's fun. But if you're a streamer, don't stream it because gonna get in trouble. You can't.
Makes me happy that I didn't pick it up because I wouldn't be able to do shit with it anyway.
Yeah. So I play it, like I said, offline, which is not very often, but I just kind of go back and dabble with it and do all that kind of cool stuff. So, all right, well, moving on.
Say, well, you guys talked about all that. Me and Enigma had a whole bout in my comments.
About what? About herpes?
We're still going at it. We're not verbally.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna go to this. So another game that Scruffy and I have been playing. Like I said, we talked about loot games.
Dude, this game's awesome.
Tiny
Wait, what? That's not
Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which actually just got an update today. The DLC came out today.
Epic shills.
Yeah, epic shills. Say it all you want.
Yeah, sure. You can call us it. It's fine. You can,
I'm glad to multiple times.
Yeah,
but
he's gonna.
the game. So this is a Borderlands game. Well, actually, Scruff, I've been talking for a while. It's a Borderlands game set in the Tiny Tina, set in a fantasy world. Scruff, take it over.
And if you guys are at all familiar with Borderlands 2, I don't know if Borderlands 3 had Tiny Tina in it, but Borderlands 2, you guys know Tiny Tina. She's that psychotic little girl who's just running batshit crazy everywhere. And this is a game set with her in mind where she is DMing a D&D campaign. And you are playing the newbie. You're playing the brand new character in this campaign from start, and it is just crazy. Dude, this girl is nuts with this campaign, and it just makes so many great moments. It's a blast every second of the way. There's never a dull moment. And I wow, like this game is just awesome. Like, hold on. Let me I can't think right now because I'm watching this shit. So if you guys are at all familiar with Borderlands 2 or Borderlands 3, it takes the great storytelling and gameplay of like Borderlands 2, but like the good feel of Borderlands 3, because we all know Borderlands 3 did not have a great story. It had a very subpar story. No one really liked the route of where it went. But this game takes the good parts from Borderlands 3 and just makes a beautiful game. I mean, to the core, it's a Borderlands game. I don't really know much more to say about it there.
I mean, the cool thing about it is, one, so they've morphed D&D into a way that it works in this world. So you have an overworld. So it's not just your typical like Borderlands game. Like you go in and you are, you're traversing this map that is like a bobblehead version of your character. And so you're just kind of walking around and you can get in like random encounters, and there's quests outside on the overworld that you're doing stuff for. And then you go into these areas where if you go into an encounter, it's like a small little encounter that has, it's not very large, and you're basically there to kill everything. And then you get your loot and then you get out, and then you go into another part, which is like a dungeon, which is like a larger version of the map, or of those encounters, which they can be multi-tiered, they can be small, they can be large, and essentially they will have quests inside of there. They'll have secrets, those jumping puzzles. There are wanted things that you're going to be doing. Like, again,
my favorite part about this game is honestly you're not locked to like the 4 characters that most Borderlands games are. In this, you actually like kind of mold your own character, and you have like multiple classes you can pick from, like a berserker, clawbringer, which is like a big Thor flame dude. What were you playing? You're playing a spell shot.
Yep.
And there's also like a necromancer and an archer. I think that's all of them.
Yeah. So, and you have a rogue. So you kind of have some archetypal.
You're forgetting the druid, the spore.
That's the ranger.
Like a druid. Yeah, it's like an archer druid.
Yeah, he's a more closer akin to a ranger, but
Yeah.
But they have the archetypes of D&D, right? Rogue, stuff like that. The cooler thing too that I think really they do a very good job on this is just like the overall aspect of really making this feel like fantasy based and D&D based versus like what we've had in the past, but you still get like Claptrap shows up, right? Like they still do a lot of like very good nods to like Borderlands
Cool
fans.
mix between
Right.
like a fantasy and almost like a Borderlands sci-fi still, because you still have your guns and whatnot, but you also have these spells that are just ridiculous.
And they do like I will say too, like one of the things that I love about it as well is that they make you feel powerful, man. Like you don't like Borderlands games have done it like the guns have always kind of made you feel powerful, but in this, like you actually feel like you are a fucking just god in this world that is just fucking shit up left and right. Now, not to say that you can't die, but like because it does get very difficult with a lot of stuff, but like I mean, you're like because of the spell casting, and then on top of that, adding the guns, like it just adds a whole other element of craziness to it. My favorite part, bar none, of this game was whenever Scruff called Moby Dick Mom.
It was Mobley
Mobley
Dick, and I called it. Oh my God! It's Mobley Dick.
Mobley Dick, dude. I have not laughed so hard in my life. Like that just cracked me up when he said Mobley Dick. But it's not just like
That was it.
it's not just the dialogue that Scruffy has or I have. The dialogue of this game is very good. Like they do a very good job of like making it funny and quirky, and like things change. Like you'll go into
banter between the characters who are playing this like campaign, and of course Tiny Tina again DMing it. She's just hilarious.
yeah, because you'll go into an area and it'll be like, oh, this is peaceful, and she's like, oh shit, I forgot. There's goblins everywhere, and then all of a sudden, like, it's just like a bunch of goblins like fucking spawn out of nowhere, and you're like, all right, well now I have to deal with this shit. So it's enjoyable. It's fun.
It's like a handcrafted campaign. Like it's
It
good, man.
definitely is nice. I will say the one thing I don't like about it, and that it rubs me, is that there's a very thin line of like let me see, social sides that it leans very heavily into. Like it's almost to a point where you're like, okay, can we just I literally want to play video games, just play video games. I don't need to have a bunch of social bullshit shoved into my game. Like it's fine every once in a while, but like it's on a couple of times it's been like, okay, like you're really shoving it in there, like, you know.
Yeah, it's like let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of crazy. But
I think the other downside is it's an Epic exclusive.
yeah.
Right.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean it does suck. Like
Well, you guys don't care about that. You're epic shills now.
sure,
Yeah,
we're an
I
Epic
don't care
show.
about it, but I still feel for everyone else.
I mean, I'm enjoying the game. I'm having fun with it. Me and Scruffy are having a blast with it. And there's a lot to do too. Like it's you very much get your money's worth. And they've already started pumping out, like I said, the new DLC just came out today.
I was actually wanting to talk about that DLC and get your guys' opinions on how they're doing it.
Sure.
It's like a tiered
Yeah,
system,
so yeah, the DLC is it's Chum, shark, old
shark.
Yeah, he's an old one, like an eldritch god, but like
Yeah.
he's a little like bobblehead sharky looking dude. And I guess over like a set period of time, like the rating counter for him, he is going to evolve over time, and the loot pool is going to change and stuff. What do you think of that kind of a interactive DLC? I'm assuming once he hits like max tier, he will stay that way, but
I think it's you know,
they're almost making an event out of the DLC, which I think is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that gives like a longevity to it. Also, like refreshing take every time he changes.
So I think I like it. I am always a fan of content that I think continues to evolve and grow and be different, and it's not necessarily the same. Like because I think it keeps players coming back. It gives players reasons to push. I can see why people would be pissed, being like, "Well, what happens if I'm not able to get into the game until later, or I'm not at that level to be able to go after and actually fight him?" Which we're like, I just hit 40, started doing my mythic leveling, right? Scruffy is not yet there. He's not at 40, not 50, at 40. And doing mythic leveling. He's not there yet. So I get if people want to be pissed and be like, well, I'm not there yet and I can't experience it, so I'm going to miss out. But at the same time, my kind of argument goes, well, if you're not there, how often are you playing the game? Are you playing it enough anyway to even care enough that you're missing out on said content? Like,
yeah, fucking casual.
It's really not, and I know I'm not at mythic rank yet, but it's not hard to get there. Like if I put a few more hours in, I'm there.
Right. So
it's
I mean, I like it. I think I'm all for it. I mean, I think it's a cool concept. It's something different.
Another question for you: do you think it's too close to release for there to be paid DLC already?
That was my only problem when they literally just barely released it, or they announced it. I'm like, shouldn't you guys just literally just fucking release the game? Like,
To be fair, the content in this DLC isn't like it's not a lot of content.
yeah,
Right.
but that's the point. The point of it is that they literally just released the game. They're already releasing this DLC. Was this DLC actually in the game previously, and they just removed it for drip feed content, or what?
Oh, 100%. I think that absolutely it's drip feed content. I think that stuff was there. And
That's one of the biggest issues that I have with like Take Two and the guys that developed this and Randy Pitchford and all that shit is like it's a problem that they've had with a lot of their games that they release is like they drip feed content that should have been already in the game, and they call it a quote unquote DLC, even though it's not really a DLC. It's patch worthy content.
Isn't this free?
No,
I don't know.
Is it not? Is it not? Is it part of the
it
paid?
is not free. It is part of the season pass.
Okay.
yeah. So
Then
if you
yeah,
don't have the
so-
season pass, then no.
Yeah,
know
I
how
mean,
much
I think that in that case, then yes, like it's because I mean I have the season pass, so but in that case, yes, like I think that that's kind of fucked up, because again, the game launched a month ago, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's
Right.
so obviously the content was there, and now they're just pulling it and saying, hey, here's content.
It's a problem I have with a lot of games like this that do this kind of stuff where it's like within a month or two of the game releasing, they've got a small content patch that they tow it as DLC, but it's not really DLC. It's just content that they removed out of the game to make sure that they could get their money's worth out of the fucking.
On the contrary, you could be like Battlefield 2042 and
I
be
was gonna
5
say,
months
yeah,
in and
and
still
never
not
get-
have
yeah.
DLC.
Never get anything.
I completely agree with you on that.
Hey, can we
though.
talk
know, it
about that
is-
patch that came out? They added a scoreboard, guys. This is a new high
last patch? This
intensity
patch
piece
they-
of technology.
They added VoIP this patch. Last patch
Yeah,
was
but
the
it-
scoreboard.
Oh, last patch was the
Scruff,
scoreboard.
did you
This
not?
one
Yeah,
was
but-
VoIP.
Did you not?
Yeah, but
stream
this was a patch. This wasn't a DLC. That you're not paying for that.
No.
True.
No, did you not
Um,
stream Battlefield, by the way? Because I wanted to talk about Battlefield.
No, I
Oh.
haven't had a chance yet. So
Okay.
we'll talk about it soon. It's
Yeah.
still got time.
Well, anyway, so yes, to answer your question, I don't think the DLC. I think it's too soon for paid content DLC. If this was going to be like an update, hey, this is an event, absolutely. I know
I mean,
that
the game
Enigma's-
launched with the DLC or with the season pass, and this isn't like something that you can directly purchase. I think you have to go through the season pass. So
Well, so
Mhm.
again, I'm not gonna not say like yes,
they're locking their end game content behind the season pass purchase.
right, which is shitty.
essentially
Like
what they're
that's shitty. It's very much of a epic thing to
That
do.
forces you into the season pass.
Right. Well, not even epic. That's not epic's. Wait, that's
I
not.
was gonna say it's not even
it's-
epic. It's just Randy
It's
Pitchford.
2K.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 2K.
So
Yeah.
it's, but it doesn't take away that the game is still fun. Like it's still very enjoyable.
No, the
like,
game,
it's a
the from what I understand, it's just underneath Borderlands 2 as far as like the perfect
Yeah.
Borderlands experience. Like it's a good return to form from what
It
Borderlands.
is. It's
3
just
was.
it's a shitty consumer friendly act. I don't know. Like
Let's and like Enigma said,
Yeah.
they've never been like they don't have microtransactions out the ass, but they're never exactly been the most consumer friendly
Right.
either.
No, they don't. They don't care. It's all right. But again, the game's fun. I mean, hey, it to me, it's worth it. Like we've put in enough time to get our $60 flat out of it. And I think that and there's enough in-game content without the season pass. Like you can do the mythic dungeons, you can do, and it gets really crazy. Like I've seen some of the mythic run, like stuff that's going on, like the in raids and shit, and it's kind of crazy. So and there's mythic leveling all the way up to like 999 or some shit. I know it's fucking crazy.
999.
How many levels you can go? So
okay, so you can buy it separately. It's $10.
Oh, okay.
It's
$10
not
is
the
a
worst
little
price,
much,
though.
that's still shitty, man. Like let's call
That's
it.
a bit of a
$10
high
is a little
price
pricey
for
a
a
fucking
for
patch.
a raid. Yeah.
Yeah, let's call it what it is.
I guess
like,
it is
$10
just
bucks.
one
You're,
rate.
you're
I
talking,
don't know.
you're talking about a sixth of the price of the game. It doesn't have enough content to be a sixth of the price of the game, and the game came out a month ago.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, if this was like 5 months down the road, 4 months down the, I don't know. Even still
Yeah.
paying I think $10 for it. Like, it should have been free
It-
content.
To me, it should have been free
Gas is
content.
30.
It should have been an event. It should have been free content, and they should have had an actual fucking or an update that was substantial updates for a DLC.
I'm genuinely surprised it's not a free update, considering they in
They got to
Borderlands
make
3
their
they
money,
had.
bro.
Well, no, in Borderlands 3 they had stuff similar to this, but it was all free updated. The
But Borderlands 3 didn't do well in sales.
Also, if the
Borderlands 3
season
did
pass
fine.
Borderlands 3 did better
They
than
didn't-
this.
they didn't-
outs that you
they
only
did
get
not do
4
fine.
content drops. So if this is one of the 4,
Borderlands
know.
3 sold better than this.
no, I don't think
Didn't sell
so.
better
Yes, it
than
did.
Borderlands 2.
No, Borderlands 2 was the
No.
highest selling Borderlands game to date. Borderlands 3 sold really well. It sold better than Tiny Tina's. I think that's why they're adding the paid transaction, because I don't think Tiny Tina's sold as well as what they wanted it to.
I think people were concerned
think
that it
so.
was that Tiny Tina's was going to be
'Cause-
similar to what the pre-sequel was, and the
'Cause
pre-sequel was doo-doo.
Because you said that this was a what's it called, a season pass content, right?
Season pass or $10.
So they knew that they were going to sell this before they released the game. They knew that they were going to sell this when they started releasing or selling the season pass.
Uh,
So it has nothing to do with the fact that this game sold good or bad. They already had that content slated for sale,
I don't think.
regardless of how well it did.
Well,
or didn't
I
do.
don't think it was. I don't. They never gave a roadmap for what the season pass was going to be. I think that they held this content from the cutting room or got it off the cutting room floor, and then I think post launch they were like, "Oh, well, we can make this a part of the season pass." And
That's even worse. Then.
right. I'm not disagreeing with you that 2K and Gearbox Studios and Epic are shit ass like for doing this kind of stuff. I'm just saying the game is fun. That's all I'm saying. Like the game's a good time. It's a good time, and I'm having a blast playing it. So yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Fallout 76 was fun with friends too.
God, this is not
That's
Fallout
the
76,
statement.
bro.
That's,
Jeez.
I never said it was Fallout 76. I was just saying Fallout
Whoa.
76 was fun with friends too.
All right. Well, moving on from another
Okay.
D&D experience, we have Solasta. We've been playing myself, actually the whole crew. Bill, Enigma, Scruffy,
been trying.
myself. Yeah,
Bill's been trying.
we had a little mix up yesterday, but it's okay. We got a lot of people that are playing, man. Let's go try.
No, I'm happy to see that the community's like excited about this and like wanting to get involved. It's nice.
It's so what this is, if you're not familiar, Celeste actually came out a while ago, and almost a year ago, and it was in early access, full release. It went early access, then went full release, and they came out with an update that made it multiplayer, which is why we've all kind of jumped onto it, and it's on sale right now for it was for $15. I don't know if it's still on sale, but
just went off.
it just went off sale. Okay, so now it's back to
It's
what?
$40.
40?
Yeah.
You said 40?
$40. Yep.
Okay. I don't know if
It
it's
was a good price on sale. I don't know if it's.
I don't know if it's $40 worth. But this is again, think Divinity Original Sin, think Baldur's Gate 3. This is one of those. It's not as
But it leans way heavier into D&D than the other ones do.
Yes. Way
It's on
heavier.
both Baldur's Gate 3.
This is 5e.
I was about to say it leans into 5e, whereas Baldur's Gate leans into Pathfinder and shit. So.
Yeah.
I mean, like gameplay feel, not like the
Yeah.
D&D rules.
Yeah. But it's a good time, and I mean, there's some things in there that are kind of clunky, right? Like you can't do a 3-man campaign. You have to play 4 players, or someone has to control one of the NPCs, or 2 of the NPCs, or however you want to do it. It does have a really robust, pretty decent campaign maker. I was looking at kind of the dungeon maker and how that works, which was kind of cool. All the different classes. I mean, again, if you like Dungeons and Dragons, you like this. It's I don't want to be the only one talking about it. I mean, you guys have experienced it. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
My
I think
rogue
so.
is a sassy bitch, and I love her.
Your rogue is a sassy bitch.
And I would die for her.
Love Bill's dialogue. It is amazing.
I picked a halfling rogue, and she just talks shit on everything.
Yeah. I think it's a good time. I do have my gripes about it, but I think for what we paid for it and for I think you said that the development team's only like 3 or 4 people. It's a very small
Yes,
development team.
and this is their only game that's ever done.
It's impressive what they've done, but like my gripes with it is like there's not a lot to character customization. You have like 4 or 5 faces for every specific person.
Yeah.
So
And so
you
me
end
and
up
Enigma ended up looking like brothers.
so I was about to say you end up looking like the same people basically. So
Yeah.
between me and Scruffy, we didn't know what each other were making, and we both made half elves that looked exactly pretty much the same. We look like twins essentially. So I don't know if you guys know what Critical Role is, but when I saw that, I was like, dude, we're not doing this Vex and Vax bullshit. Like this is this is not gonna work, bro. Okay. So we've kind of built our own lore inside of this specific instance where his and my characters are both sister or brother and sister. So
Yeah.
but it's got some good stuff. Like it is very, very heavily based on 5e, like to the point of like when I went in there to make my wizard the first time, I was like, holy shit, I can literally make my wizard from my 5e campaign down to a T essentially. So
Which is cool. I mean,
that's kind of
very
cool,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that I would like to have is like a dungeon master mode would be nice to actually have like a 5-player mode where one person was the dungeon master, one person, and then 4 people were going
You can
through.
build. There
You
is
can
a
build. You can build maps.
Build, I don't know if there can be
and
a DM of
campaigns,
those maps though.
but there's no DM. Yeah,
so
exactly.
you would have to
Which,
play over
that'd
your
be
own
an
map.
interesting. Yeah, that'd be an interesting mechanic.
Because
or
like
how that would
what's it
work.
called?
Divinity has a dungeon
Divinity
master
Original
mode.
Sin 2 has a dungeon master mode, and it is insanely in depth, like insanely in depth.
Well, that's what I was gonna say is that at $40, Divinity Original Sin 2 is $44 for the definitive edition.
Yeah, I
I
think
would
you
get
get a
that.
better deal with Divinity, honestly.
Like this is a fun game. It's a blast. And I mean it like what you miss in Divinity is the feel of Dungeons and Dragons. Like
Very true,
like
yeah.
you get a how do you say, you get a cooperative,
You get a hit of it.
Yeah.
You get like a
feel.
very, very hint of it.
but you don't get the, like, it's a D&D feel, like, but you don't get the full blown experience of D&D. This is the full blown like experience of D&D. You know,
I feel like you played Divinity 2 for the character building and the funny gags and whatnot, and then you play this game for like the real story driven moments.
well,
Because this game
it's-
has, honestly, it's got a really cool story and really great dialogue, down to the banter between, the 4 of you.
right.
Like it's hilarious.
It's got great dialogue, but I will
Yeah.
complain about the voice acting. The voice acting is
Okay, the voice.
fucking terrible.
No, let's be specific. Sin's voice acting.
I
No,
can't.
just all of the
I
voice
can't get my
acting.
voice.
All
No,
the
I know
voice
all
acting
the
is
voice.
terrible.
Sin just has whack. Yeah, his voice changes every time his accent.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as polished as what it could be. It's a small team, but for what they have done at $15, worth every fucking penny. At $40, it's a hard sell. Like it's
a good 25, 25 at most
Right.
for me.
and I do like the fact that
Good time,
you
though.
can't, like, what Divinity does lack is that, again, you create a character. You can take that character in and out of campaigns all day long. So like I can take my character that I created here and go and put them into another campaign with Enigma and Shal and whatever, or Bill and Scruff, myself. Like you can move your characters around. The way that they do that is basically the character itself, the leveling is at level 1, period, when you create that character. So it's a template for your character, and then when you load into that campaign, you can then go, if it's a brand new campaign, you're going to start fresh level 1. If you load into your campaign with the other character, like with myself, Scruff, and Bill, and we save that game, then my progress saves there. So it's saved per game, not per character. So they did some smart things there, because I wish Divinity would do that. Like Divinity, you start a campaign, I mean, it is what it is. Like that's the campaign, you're fucking done. Like there's no going back. And you can't take your character with you. So
Well, that is also one thing that I wish that they would do in this one, is instead of like, because once you've created the character and once you've created the game, your character is locked there. Like you can't. I wish that there was a little bit more jump in, jump out. Like if we had a campaign that we were running dungeons with, like myself, you, Bill, and Scruff, right? And then like Scruff couldn't make it that night. We could then be like, okay, well Scruff's not playing tonight. Shal's jumping in, and Shal
Well,
could
Yeah,
use his own.
I wish it was like, wasn't it like Wildermyth or something where you could like just, or there was a game where you could just stick one of the players in a town to
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Well, you
Yep.
know what would be cool
That
is that it would be
Yeah.
dope if they integrated into the game where you had to go to town and hit a button inside the game to be able to basically kind of make it feel like, hey, Mike, this character is gonna stay at the pub and drink or what. Like if you wanted to bring in lore to it, right? Because what I've read and I've looked at some of the forums and the developer talking about their game is like they really wanted to stay true to like a D&D campaign kind of thing,
Yeah.
and they didn't want to shy away from lore and the way that it would feel in a D&D world. And my thing was like, okay, cool, well then make it to where I have to go to an inn or I have to go to a bar and I can then say, hey, this character's going to stay at the pub and I need to hire a new person to bring in, and I could then open up the portal to be able to invite somebody. Like I know it's like in the world of 2022, it's like, why the fuck do I need to do that? But like, if your whole thing is trying to stay true to 5e and D&D rules, like that's how, as a DM, I would do it. I'd be like, well, cool, you need to go back to town. Like, if you want to bring this person in, you need to go back to town and fucking hire them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's ways of doing it. But look, it's open for mod support. So I mean, the game is open for Steam, workshop
Well,
mods.
and so far it's only open to maps right now. So far, I haven't seen any mods for like different races, different classes, or anything like that. So it seems like it is open for mod support, but it's only open for mod support in where they offer you the ability to download different maps and different
That's actually
campaigns.
one thing I was wondering. With our dilemma right now of having so many players, is if we could find maps that are one-offs. Like
I know, I'm sure
Yeah.
there is. Yeah, I'm
That-
sure
that would be
there's
awesome.
several of them I was looking at the other day. There was like the Mines of Bechtad or something like that. I can't remember what it was called, but it's based off of an old like 1987 one-shot dungeon dive essentially,
That's
and
sweet.
they have some of those where people have gone in and like recreated certain like one-shots and dungeon dives, which is kind of nice that you have
Yeah.
that, and I think almost to the extent of like this game, while it's not much to look at and it doesn't have a lot going for it with like storyline and everything like that. From everything that I've read, people say that the story is kind of lacking with it. It's an extremely competent dungeon diver,
Yeah.
It's a lot of
right?
fun.
Like it is an extremely competent dungeon diver. So that's where it excels. Is like if you can get those one shots, like you said, Scruff, that's where it'll excel. Is like just doing one shot dungeon dives where you're like, okay, this is going to be like a 4 or 5 day dungeon dive where we do this like every once a week and we play a couple hours a week. Dungeon dive is done in like 2 days, 2-3 days, and then you move on to the next one.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
No. So again, it's a good time. I mean, again, at $15,
It is good.
$40,
It's extremely good for how small the development team is and how much money we paid for it. Great, fucking awesome, amazing, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Can't wait to see more because I'm really hoping that he starts bringing in more Dungeons and Dragons like content, like races, classes, everything like that. Because like another complaint that I have is there's no fucking bard. Bards are like
yeah.
pinnacle in D&D. Why is there no fucking bard?
Right.
I don't understand. Like I would have went with the bard over like the rogue, right? Or the ranger or something like that. Because like when it comes to D&D lore and like D&D in the past, like the bard has been the first one released every time.
This is when Scruffy could not hit this fucking wolf to save his life, dude.
Bro,
And I shot it in one.
Yeah.
No. I smited this one. It was the orc that yeah.
Oh,
Never mind.
gotcha.
I
It
was
was
having
the
terrible luck this night. It was
Yeah.
just bad.
Yeah.
that is one thing that I will say is that Bill, you're going to be extremely pleased about this. Rogues are very overpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are they?
Extremely fucking
Yeah.
overpowered.
I'm kind of looking forward to going back to our campaign because I need to get the fuck off my cleric because I have 19 wisdom and I can't fucking hit shit with my
I know.
spells.
I want to
They
go back to my
save-
druid.
Like fucking these orcs that have like no wisdom at all have saved on every one of his sacred
Dude,
flames.
fucking
It's strictly
crazy.
because of their DC, bro.
Yeah. So it's nuts.
All I'm saying is I need some sort of movement ability to catch up to these people because we're playing.
You'll get it. You'll get it. Like my character, my rogue that I have in that campaign, I have an ability that I can teleport up to 5 spaces ahead of me.
Nice.
So
You'll
you get
easy
it
backstabs.
extremely easy. The other problem that I think you might be having is that you're relying a lot on your melee, and you need to start swapping between them because that's what I did last night. I was ranged.
There
then
near
when-
the end,
when I
I was
needed
starting
it-
to
yeah.
bring the bow out more.
Because that bow is gonna do insane damage, especially if you do sneak attacks. Woo! Woo, son, I was hitting for like 15, 20s.
That last fight we did, I pretty well was just like creeping in the shadows,
Yeah.
sniping people, and it worked out really well. So I'm excited
But
to get
like,
back into it.
but
If you
like
guys
last,
remind me,
yeah, I'm down. But like last night with the last encounter that we had with the orcs, I was swapping between my bow, and then I saw Scruffy was over there having some pretty troubles with his. So I teleported over there, backstabbed the dude in one shot. The guy that he'd been sitting there fucking trying to hit
Was
for like
following,
4
like,
turns.
Yeah, basically
Shooters
last night
the
was
entire
nothing but
night.
just us playing dummies for Enigma to go
Yes.
have fun and do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Enigma was the main character
So,
I
last night.
was indeed.
We were just side characters.
all right, I am almost done. I've got 2 more games. I'm gonna be quick, but
Holy shit!
I've been playing a
Come
lot,
on,
man.
Sid.
I'm sorry, man. I've been playing.
You just got back. How much have you played?
I've been playing a lot of games.
Well, let's wrap it
Okay.
up because I've got 2 games and I think that Bill has one as
know.
well.
I got it. I got
Oh.
it. Jesus Christ, man. Okay. For whatever reason,
Forza, you drive cars fast.
I drive cars fast. I got into Forza, playing Forza Horizon 5. I am not a fan of racing games. Really, I'm not a fan of like. I didn't give a shit about Forza, honestly, but I don't know. There's something. I got an itch to play a racing game. I wanted something open world. This game's a lot of fun, man. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time. This game is like super. I mean, it's been out for almost a year, but it's a lot of fun. If you are into cars, obviously pick it up. But if you love just like free roaming and just driving
You're just
around,
running into a Lambo
yeah,
or something.
yeah. Well, because in my chat they're like, "That's a real person." I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a dick and just like fuck them up with my
course.
shitty
Leave it the
BMW."
same.
Yeah, I was about to say, I love how instantly.
were they trying to
as soon as-
fish?
As soon as
I was gonna
his chat says, "Hey, that's a real person," his instant
Yeah.
thought is, "Let's
Yeah,
go
look,
and ram into
I
him."
It'll be
just-
toxic.
I
Like it doesn't matter what game it is.
Let's go and ruin this guy's experience because that's what makes me
Listen,
happy.
guys, they were driving on the road. They were asking for it.
Look at another one.
I
Oh
just
my god.
yeah.
He's the driving warden. You
Yeah.
weren't driving correctly.
And look, man, it's an open world game. Play how you want. But no, it's a fun time. Like it really is enjoyable experience in Forza. Like there is no
For
rules. Like
everyone.
you just get to go
Sid,
do.
not everyone else.
You get to go do whatever you want to do. So it's a blast. Another game that a racing game that I've been playing, or not race. This is not racing. This is not racing at all. Is SnowRunner. This game is
Never thought I would see you play a simulation game.
not a simulation game.
It is a simulation game.
It is 100% sim.
Okay, fine.
Just
I'm
like Euro
overruled
Truck
here.
Simulator,
Yeah,
where you're doing the same thing but on highways.
fine. I'm overruled. It's a simulation game. It's still a fun ass simulation game, man. Like,
It even says on the fucking Steam
I just said
page,
simulation.
SnowRunner
Alright,
is a
goddamn,
2020
okay.
off-road simulation video
And
game.
it's a
okay, there you
simulation
go.
game,
All right.
bro.
Okay, I got it. Anyway, the thing about it, like the whole purpose of this game is basically you are to explore this open world and do deliveries, go mudding, just be in the world. The thing that drew me to it was how open the world was, how real, like you just go and do whatever you want to do. But it really at its core becomes a puzzle game. Like it becomes like this game of like, how do I get from point A to point B and deal with the terrain? And like, it's not fucking easy. It's not simple, and you will get stuck a lot. And like, so it's just, how do you deal with that? And I mean, they go, the thing I like about this is that you can go as in depth as you want, and you can be like, I don't know shit about cars or trucks. I do like to go, off-roading. I do like to actually, I have a fast car. But it's not something where you have to know a shit ton about cars. Like it basically makes it pretty simple. And like, hey, if you upgrade this is what it's going to give you. So you don't have to know like, oh, I got to have this for your differential. I got to have this like suspension. I got to do blah, blah, blah. Like none of that shit. But like, it does open you up to be like, hey, this is how you can solve this problem. And there's also co-op, which is really cool, up to 4-player co-op. In some of the other worlds or some of the mods that they have open for it, they have actual full-blown RP servers, which allow up to, I believe, 60 people to be able to play.
Cool. I never knew they actually did RP on this game, but I can imagine.
I've seen a lot of people doing like you can go out in the forest and what's it called, like cut down trees and shit and
Yeah.
make a logging company and all that shit.
So like the RP stuff that's in it, which is really cool, is the concept that there's some of them, like they're obviously different servers do different things, but one of the most popular ones is the rule set is you only get to have one car and one truck until you want to purchase another truck, but you have to go into a dealership that is run by another person that is selling these trucks. They have to acquire said trucks. Like it's pretty, I mean, I was thinking, oh, it's just gonna be like I'm gonna go out there and fucking get stuck, and some dude's gonna come pick me up.
For the park boys.
Like they go in depth with their RP stuff in this, and there's like 6 maps I think, or 7 maps total. The maps are, as you can see on here, like I'm not even zoomed all the way out, but they're pretty large. You have to explore all of it. Like it doesn't really tell you anything. One of the complaints I did have was that like it's free to get fuel, it's free to recover, but if you play in hard mode, that's actually not true. You have to pay for your shit. You have to pay to get refuel. You have to pay to get recover. You can't just like you sell your vehicle at a depreciated value based on how much damage you've done. Like it's difficult, and they don't tell you where anything's at. So like you got to find all the fucking the lumber yards, all of that kind of stuff.
I would actually be willing to play this if we played on like an RP and they had like mechanics or something like that you could become.
So one of the servers, again, you have to understand, like you can't get out of your truck. Like you are in a truck, so you are basically RPing as a
walking around.
Yeah, there's
so
no,
so essentially you're Lightning McQueen and everybody else is taking
it is. This is cars.
Yeah, it's cars.
You'll be in Radiator Springs.
Yeah.
But they do have that, like you as a mechanic, you as like or like the mechanic for the trucks, like because you can load a truck that has like repair parts, and like if your truck goes out into an area and gets fucking you fuck your axle up or something like that, well then you need a repair part. So yes, you can do that. You can play it. And it's
I've actually played the original one of these. I think it was called like
Mud Runner,
Mud Tires or something like that. I had a lot of fun with it, but it's like I think it'd be a lot more fun with multiplayer. Like,
oh, absolutely. Like honest to God, it's something where I've been like, I'm surprised at how much I've enjoyed it. Like, again, it's a very.
I'm surprised how much you're enjoying it, considering the amount of shit you give me for fucking like.
I don't give a fuck about painting a fucking car. Like this
mechanic.
isn't this. There's a lot that adds. It's not just a simulator to like. If I was just, I don't know. I like American Trucker. I don't enjoy that because
He's saying his sim is better than your sim.
Yes, my sim.
I'm curious to see if you would like My Summer Car.
That's all my like. That's one of my favorite. That's legitimately like.
Is it open world though?
Joking.
Like, can I go?
It
anywhere?
is open world. Yeah.
It is open. You can get out of your vehicle in that one.
But you have to know. You've always been able to get out of your vehicle in My Summer Car, but you have to know like how to build the vehicle. Like
yeah, see, I don't. That's not my thing. Like, I don't give a shit about. I don't care enough about that. Like, I like this because it makes me solve puzzles in a way that like it. Bill, you said it like it's Tetris for me. I don't know why. I just look at it. I'm like, I gotta solve this fucking puzzle. How do I do this? How can I get from here to here? I don't know. It's enjoyable.
Fucking Tetris.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. So, Enigma, you have been playing No Man's Sky, right?
I've been playing No Man's Sky and I've been playing Minecraft. A mod on Minecraft called Rebirth of the Night. So I don't know which one you want me to start. I guess we'll start on No Man's Sky. Yeah. So No Man's Sky, Chicken Boy is going to be extremely happy about this, considering like I think it was either last week or last not last week, the last podcast or the podcast before that. He was like, "You guys never talk about fucking No Man's Sky. It's a great game. I love it." But
Beautiful.
They just released the Outlaws update, and I've been wanting to go back to it since the previous update. I think it was called the Frontier update, if I'm not mistaken. But this one, they came back to it because they finally updated their ship combat, and they've added in a smuggling and like pirate system, which to me is amazing for one, because that's how I wanted to play to begin with, was be a pirate, and you couldn't do it. Like you could attack ships and you could steal stuff from ships, but like it wasn't a good idea because you just fuck yourself in that system.
This
right?
is kind of like what Elite Dangerous does, right?
Exactly. Like, this is taking you further down into like the Elite Dangerous route and like the Star Citizen route, to the point that I'm like, this game is actually on par with Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen at this point, right? You've got so much shit that you can do. You've got base building. You've got different ships. They added in new ships, which look fucking amazing. If you're watching the videos right now, like this ship right here that they have, they've got a new class of ship called I think it's the Solar Sail ships, which look gorgeous. They look fucking amazing, man. Like, and it's all procedurally generated. Like the actual ship designs are all procedurally generated, so you don't ever get. I mean, you do get the same ships over and over again at some point, right? You're gonna get ships that look the same, but like there's enough of a buffer between them that's you can get pretty unique looking ships, right? But
You know,
yeah, it's just been a great update, man. I've been enjoying it.
the outlaw stuff, like, is that real people? Like I mean, is it?
These ones right now that you're looking at are NPCs, but yes, you can see real people.
But like, can
if
real
you have
people
them in
raid your
game.
shit?
I don't know if real people can. I don't know if they have PvP in the, because like you have, in order to join somebody else's instance, I think you have to be in their friends list. So you have to they have to join your instance. If I'm not mistaken.
I wonder if that's like the next step, because like everything that they've done like in this game, they have moved to like a more multiplayer-esque style, and
Yeah, well,
like
and they brought it down the actual, like they finally put to fruition what they wanted it to be to begin with, which was they wanted to be a multiplayer thing. I think it went down a better rendition of what they wanted to be, because originally it was like you're going to run into people, but you're not going to know that those are actual people, you know, and there's a very low chance that you're actually going to run into people. Now you can run into people whenever you want to, because you can go on the anomaly and you can just see everybody, right? They've made it into like a more of a community base rather than being like you don't see anybody. It's now you go to the anomaly, you can see everybody
do you
that's in the
think that
anomaly.
I mean, I almost would hope for them to add in PvP, because look, guys, we said it already once. I like to be a dick, man. I like to be that guy that is just like, I want to
I
fuck
don't know.
with people's fun.
I don't
so,
personally
like,
think that they will ever add in PvP. Honestly, I don't think
man,
that
I hope they
it's in
do.
the slates for No Man's Sky.
Too. I don't
think.
know, man. I think there would be an allure for PvP in this game.
I mean, I'm sure there would be, but I don't think that they ever will. This game is not based off of or built off of PvP, right? They want the community to be a community. They don't want it to be at each other's throats, right? So having open world PvP
Well, do you think they could be like
is
PvP
gonna
sectors, like
be kind of
where
rough.
like you can?
The one thing that I could see is like if they went down a route of like Dark Souls, where it was like if you're in a multiplayer situation where you have people on your team, it summons in pirates, or like people can flag that they want to be a pirate for PvP, and then as soon as they see that, they can be like, oh, hey, there's somebody in that system that's running, you know.
Well, do you think that you could see like hostile zones? So to say, like once
That's
you,
what this is. That's what this update added. These zones that you have these derelict or these pirate spaceships are now zones that are no longer being controlled by the security systems that are in place. I can't remember what, I think they're called Sentinels. These zones are now taken over by pirates. So there's no
so
Sentinel like police force inside of the zone. It's all
okay,
pirates. You have a higher chance of getting hit by people that are inside of those zones, because it's a high hostility area, right?
so hmm.
There's no market inside of these zones. All the market is just black market goods, which that's added an entire new system of like gameplay, right? Which basically means that if you were wanting to be like a smuggler, like you want to be the Millennium Falcon, you go to these zones, you load up on smuggled goods, and then you take them to the other areas. The problem with that is that the Sentinels have the ability to scan your cargo, and if they see that smuggled goods, you're instantly a pirate. You're going down.
See, I think that
So
they could do something where it would be like, and this is, I think I've asked you about this, but like one of the things that I loved and want, and I loved about Star Wars Galaxies was I could be a bounty hunter.
yeah,
So the idea that you could, yes, you have NPC pirates, but like I could go to a terminal where I could say, hey, I want to police this person, right? Or someone gets a wanted level, and then I could go and say, hey, I want to be able to go after said person, right? So you're not like, it's not pure open world, but it's like a hunt versus hunter, risk versus reward situation. Um, I think that'd be a cool
That would work
concept.
I
great in
mean,
this.
it's very possible. Like with the way that they've been going down, like I never in my life would have thought that we would have had pirates in No Man's Sky. I never would have in my life thought that they would have come out with the Outlaw update, right?
Right.
Because this is not them, right? Like I've never seen them be like, yeah, we want you to be an outlaw. So it's very possible, and it could very well go down that route. Maybe the storyline that they're wanting to go down is like, hey, now that we don't have any kind of police force inside of these outlaw sections, inside of these sections of outlaw space, we now need bounty hunters to go and, you know, do your thing. They do have bounty hunting in the game already, where it's NPC bounties essentially, right? So I could see them doing it. I just don't see them doing PvP in general. Like it's never been a big thing.
There was like sort of like dead zones, or like what the Division had, like the dark zone, like where PvP
Yeah.
was enabled in that zone only. That would be cool, I think. If you like, you're entering the zone where there's a risk of possibly running into somebody else who, is also PvP on. I don't know. I think that'd add some sort of, decent where it's like you're not always going to be even PvP, but these certain zones have it. That would be neat.
The only thing
And what Chicken Boy's saying in the chat is kind of true. Yeah, it would be very, very lackluster because you can essentially just find people no matter where they're at. Like, it's extremely easy to.
But what I'm
find,
saying is, like, if
another
they could make it to where it's only capable in those outlaw sectors, like not where you're gonna go and jump to their home planet and fuck their base up. Like, I'm talking about, like, you have to go to this area to get this rare resource because that's the only place that you can do it, but it's a lawless zone. So we have, like, you can take a contract to be the law there and to either hunt down said person or, be the smuggler.
I think this is just Sin One to be the.
You're absolutely. I want to be a
fishing,
dick, man. I want to be
the fishing.
Dude,
what was it? The warden.
the warden,
fishing warden.
fucking warden, bro.
Sid just wants to be the dickhead warden that's in any system. Like, oh, you're going against the laws.
Dude, I love the concept of bounty hunting. Like, not just in video games, but in like life. Like, bounty hunting is fucking amazing to me. I love that concept that they skirt the line of like law and not like, and it's just this idea that
low key beside Sin in his bed, there's just a Dog the Bounty Hunter poster.
Absolutely,
Maybe, man.
It's right off here. It's off camera. You can't see it, man.
He kisses his mullet every night.
Absolutely, dude. But I think it's cool, man. It
would be interesting. It definitely would be interesting to see PvP in No Man's Sky. I don't personally see it happening, but then again, like I said, I didn't personally see them saying, "Hey, yeah, you want to be a pirate, be a pirate." So it's very possible. You never know. That's the good thing about Hello Games and No Man's Sky is, like, they've been out since 2016, right? And they have progressively updated this game with new shit every single fucking update.
Just been doing their own thing.
To an extent of, like, it's a new fucking game every update.
Yeah, for free.
Right?
It's
like
crazy.
this right here is a brand new fucking game. If you want to be
free.
For free, exactly. If you want to be a pirate and you want to live exclusively in an outlaw section or in an outlaw zone, you can do that.
Yeah,
it's
the only thing I will say about the game that makes it's a lot of, like, because I've been playing it too, and I want to love this game. I really want to, like, just full flown just sink my teeth into it. But it's so much of, like, hey, go get sodium. Okay, I get sodium, and by the time I get back from the sodium to go get the other shit, I'm like, it's like, hey, your sodium's fucked, and I'm like, God, fucking damn it, man, I gotta go back over here to get.
The thing you got to remember is that you're in early game. Early game is extremely difficult when it comes down to gathering resources. You have a set amount of space to store things. Everything needs multiple types of minerals, right? Or you need multiple types of crafted materials, everything like that. As soon as you start making a base and you start getting, like, yourself set with, like, grow pods and everything like that, it becomes trivial. Like, being able to get enough sodium becomes trivial because you have thousands and thousands of sodium coming in at any given moment with your growing units, your growing vats.
Well,
so
maybe I'll give it. I'll keep at it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have anything.
I like what Chicken Boy said. This man grinds New World, but he won't get in No Man's Sky.
Bro, that's completely different. Fuck off. I don't have a video for you.
It's actually a good game.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong. I don't have a clip for Minecraft. Did you send a clip?
Yeah. No, I didn't. There's not really any clips for the mod that I've been playing. So and it's not really worth, like, mentioning in long form, but it's I've been playing this new mod, or it's not a new mod, it's an old mod. It's a 1.12.2 mod for Minecraft called Rebirth of the Night. And essentially what this mod does is it turns Minecraft into, like, a mix of, like, 7 Days to Die and, like, Horde mode, right? So instead of, like, the zombies in normal Minecraft are finicky, right? You can kill them easy. The skeletons in normal Minecraft, fucking ignore them. You get a shield, boop, and then you hit them, right? In this game, in this mod, they've ramped that up by, like, tenfold. So a zombie hits you, it's taken off, like, 5 hearts, right? Like, it's a lot. You get hit by something, it's gonna hurt. And they've made it so that it's, like, it's darker. Things can spawn in more mass. There's different new enemy types that are, like, harder. No, new enemy types.
Like, running around buck ass naked.
How'd you install?
New enemy types that are harder. Like, you got different types of zombies that have like weapons and armor and everything like that on them. You've got zombies that can burrow through your base. So like if they got a pickaxe, they can break through walls and shit. So you kind of have to
That's cool.
build your base with defense in mind. You know, you can't just you can't just go to a plains biome and be like, oh, I'm going to put a house right here because that house is going to be torn open within minutes of the night coming, right?
That's cool.
So you kind of got to think with a bit more of a defensive mindset
Build
or
in a
mindset and strategy.
volcano.
you go.
Exactly. Oh, even then, that's not going to work because you have zombies and other mobs that are not burned by lava.
The
essentially.
pigmen.
So it's on a progression base too. So like once you go into the nether starts spawning new types of enemies in the overworld, right? So you'll get zombies that are on fire that'll set shit on fire. You'll get creepers that explode and leave lava behind.
That's sweet.
You
That's
know?
like Terraria almost.
And that's what I was about to say. That's the other game that I forgot. They base
Really great, yeah.
essentially this mod is like a homage to
Homage.
a homage to like 7 Days to Die, and they say that they pulled extremely from Terraria as well. So
Sweet.
they've
Actually,
got larger bosses, like they've got certain bosses that you have to actually summon with items that you find in the world. They only have 2 in there right now, but once they get the mod done, they think they want 10. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 6 to 10 bosses, somewhere
are they
around there.
simply working on this mod for 1.12, or are they going to be updating it? Do you know?
They've said that it's at 1.12 for a reason because it's easier to mod for 112. But
That's what
they
I've heard,
have
like, that's
they
the latest.
have all of they have mods inside the mod pack that give you stuff from 1.18.
Oh, okay.
So they have mods that bring it into a more modernized version of Minecraft while still being on the easier to mod version of Minecraft, right?
Just
They've
from hearing
talked
all this,
about
like,
wanting
I
to,
definitely want to jump into this now.
yeah, and you can like I said,
Yeah, I
our
probably will.
server is completely open to you guys if you want to play it. So,
Yeah.
but they've said that they want to update it to 116, but it's just not in the cards right now. So
That's
it's and it's hard, man. It is extremely fucking difficult.
Yeah,
Like
you said
I
it's on kind of par with RL Craft, but not as severe.
kind of it's like the difficulty of RL Craft dialed
Yeah.
down by like 2 notches,
Yeah.
right? Like it's still extremely hard,
Yeah.
but RL Craft is like it's easily like
Sid knows how
dwarfed.
hard RL Craft.
RL Craft is insane. I will not play RL Craft. That's you're a masochist if you want to fucking play
Yeah,
Craft.
it's like the Dark Souls of Minecraft.
Yeah.
Well,
So
there,
it's
Bill, you
fun.
can play that.
I've been enjoying it though. Rebirth of the Night again. That's what it is. You can find it on CurseForge. You can find it on any of your mod pack delivery systems. It's a good time. I've been enjoying it. It's tough. It makes Minecraft a little more enjoyable considering the fact that you're, usually Minecraft you go in there, you build pretty stuff, you get bored with it, and then you leave. So this kind of forces you to kind of build with defense in mind. Like I said, you can't just build like, oh, I want to build something pretty. You have to be like, if I want to build something pretty, I also need to have defenses on it. So,
well, speaking of dick kickingly difficult and Dark Souls, Bill,
What's up, bud?
Elden Ring, man. I know it's been your jam, but new big ass patch came out. And
Huge patch.
If you,
massive patch.
if you guys haven't or are interested in what is in the patch, Bill did a phenomenal job with a video that he put out that kind of details every single thing. Excuse me, in the patch. Go check out his channel. He's got it on there.
It's wild, dude. So, patch 1.04 came out. They did a lot of really good things. Few things broke in the process, but overall, this patch is a big upgrade to base Elden Ring. They took a lot of the stuff that was struggling to be viable with the pacing of the game and improved it. Mainly the colossal weapons category. They increased the swing speed, the recovery frames, the damage if you're two-handing those weapons. So,
does that take into effect if you're two-handing it and don't have enough of the specific stat required to one-hand it? Does that still do the damage bonus?
Yep. As long as two-handing it, you meet the strength requirement. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. So yeah, two-handed attack damage for all colossal weapons up. Swing speed, recovery speed, all changed. This is for regular attacks, not jumping attacks. They feel like jumping attacks are balanced.
I mean, Pat,
And
jumping attacks were OP, dude. Like,
I mean, they're still OP, so they weren't gonna buff them even more.
one of my friends, like that's essentially what he does, no matter what. He's like a fucking bunny. He just jumps around and fucking hits things. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing over there? Oh, just casually attacking.
I'm playing Elden Ring. Leave me alone.
On top of this, they made 60 plus buffs to spells and weapon arts throughout the game. Some of them just kind of similar to what the colossal weapons, where they made them come out faster and you recover faster from them because they were a bit slow to begin with. Others, they just straight up buff the damage. Some of them.
What you're telling me is that we're coming faster and we're recovering faster to come faster some more.
Yes, so you can.
Hell
continue,
yeah, I'm into
so
this.
You can continue coming.
I'm into this, bro.
So my wife's been asking for a long time, man.
One of the biggest things, and it didn't happen with a ton of spells, but it was more the melee oriented like weapon arts and stuff. They added hyper armor to a lot of those weapon arts, so you're not just gonna get knocked out of your animation right before it comes out. So pretty nifty stuff there. They didn't nerf hardly anything. 60 plus buffs and only like 5 nerfs overall. They nerfed a talisman and a staff. That's one of the gimmicks to those weapons was they increase the amount of status effect buildup. So like madness, bleed, frost, that kind of thing. They nerfed the amount of status effect buildup that those staffs have. They fixed the exploit where you could stack arcane on your character, and basically if you hit one spell on somebody, you could chain madness onto them over and over and just like insta kill them straight up.
Madness is crazy, man.
Madness is crazy. They nerf,
especially in PvP. Like I think it's only good exclusively in PvP because I don't think that mobs actually get madness spelled on, do they?
No, but madness. So madness, as far as enemies go, it effectively builds up stagger instead of a madness effect. So once they max out a madness bar, they stagger instead, and they have significantly higher buildup.
Yeah.
I swear to God, every time I see this game, man, I see a different area of somewhere. I'm like, how come I haven't seen this shit?
Because you've only played 15 hours of it.
Okay, well,
I
am playing, and let me play the way I want to play, man.
Fucking Bill's throwing that big dick time on him. He's like, check out my fucking hours played, bro.
I mean, don't look at Steam because it's only 55 hours because I've been playing on PS5 mainly. But
it's mainly my issue right now is just, I'm at a point where I'm kind of like I've hit a plateau or like that point, and maybe the patch I haven't played since the patch, so maybe it will fix some of it. But I'm kind of like, fuck, like it's just where I'm at. I don't know.
You just gotta get good.
There's a ton of buffs that came out. So they nerfed the madness catalysts. They nerfed 2 of the spells, like the railgun spell and one of the other ones, and buffed the other madness spells to kind of bring them more up into line. Another thing that they nerfed was the swarm of flies spell. They just decreased the
that one was really overpowered, man. Like that was insane. I remember seeing a build that was taking on like one of the end game bosses and like just 2-shotting it.
Yeah. They also shadow nerfed the Rivers of Blood katana, which a lot of people were
they kind of needed it.
Pretty happy with it. Again, decrease the blood loss bleed up. It still does really high damage, but won't bleed you out as quickly.
Yeah.
And they fixed a few of the like more detrimental exploits, like the thing where you could throw the spell stones on the ground and then parry your own spell and then one shot like anything.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so there's these consumable items. You throw them on the ground, they like make some like magic spell come up and then shoot out.
The glint stones?
Yeah, the glintstone shards.
Yeah.
You could take the carry and retaliation shield and parry your own stuff that you threw down, and like the game bugged out and would make it do like 5,000 damage per sword.
Nice.
Here's what I'll say about it is, and I'm pretty sure
you can still do that now. They didn't take away the ability to do that, but it's now scaled properly.
I love the fact that this game, I feel like more than the other Souls games, it has opened the world for people to be able to do just like stupid, insanely crazy, like off the wall shit. And maybe Dark Souls has always been like that. That's just
not to this extent.
Like, but I love the fact that they're just kind of like, cool. You know what? roll with it, man. Like, you know, like do it. You know what I mean? Like,
That's what I like. Is like they could have took that feature out, you know, but they decided to keep it in and actually use it
And
Yeah.
as
can
an
I
actual mechanic.
can I just say one thing? Praise be to Let Me Solo Her. Praise
Yep.
be.
Let me solo her. Although let me solo her is having a rough go of things. So when I said that they broke things, they broke Millennia, the
Oh, did
hardest
they?
fight of the game.
Yeah, they
So
made her
if
even
you,
harder, right?
yeah, if you go in and fight her with co-op people, which let me solo her was soloing her as a co-op person. She heals even if she doesn't do damage to you. So if you like iframe through her
That's
attack,
fucked.
she still gets the heal off of it. So
That's fucked.
Really.
she's nigh unbeatable in co-op
Are
unless you just stun lock her.
are they gonna change that? Like, is that a known bug? Or?
It's a bug. It's
Okay.
unintended.
Okay.
Another thing that happened, which is to the opposite effect, is any of the 2-stage bosses, if you kill them, or well, you phase transition them with a status effect. So if you bleed them out or hit them with frostbite, and that takes them to the next phase, whenever they pop into the next phase, they just insta die.
Huh.
So
okay.
those are the two big things that they broke with this patch. I'm assuming they're going to fix it very soon. That's like hot fix material. I would assume. I'm pretty sure they're like stressing to try to get it done as quick as possible.
For sure. Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
good patch.
are you
I've been playing with the grafted swords, which is the
Graphic
game.
sword. Yeah.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones swords. They
have
feel really good now.
I'm,
It was a
I'm glad.
struggle.
I'm glad that you think it's the Game of Swords throw or Game of Thrones sword too. Because when I first saw it, I was like, "Bro, this is ripped off straight from Game of Thrones. This isn't
Well,
just
it's their
the sword the sword throne or whatever fucking
yeah.
grafted
Let me
onto a
know when you
hilt."
get another one of those. I want to see you dual wield.
I'm dual wielding them now. At the
Are
end of
you?
the last stream, I started
Okay, I gotta
dual
go watch
wielding them.
that. Like, cause
Yeah.
that's sweet.
But yeah, it's their homage to George R. R. Martin for his
Yeah,
contribution.
yeah.
So
Easily.
entirely intended, and it's actually usable now. Like before, I was just exclusively
It
doing
was really
jumping
bad,
attacks
man.
because
Yeah, it was way too
a
heavy.
regular swing recovered as much as a jumping attack. And I was like, why wouldn't I just go
Yeah.
for max damage and
Your
stagger?
your big ass claw attack is dope too. I don't know what that is. I think it's sweet.
The Dragon
Dragon
Claw.
Claw.
See the dragon claw?
Yeah, that was one of the spells that they buffed. They
Mm.
reduced the FP cost by like half. So before this patch, I could only use one of those. Now I can actually chain two of them together,
Mhm.
and
That
it's
was pretty good
faster and
damage,
no
I saw.
recovers. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
actually really really good now.
wait, are you are you
did they,
invading somebody in this?
Hmm.
Is this you invading somebody?
No, I think that's an NPC.
Oh,
Have they nerfed the Scarlet Rot at all?
No, Scarlet
Okay.
Rot is still the same as it
Gotcha.
always was. Yeah, which again, we were talking about this earlier in the week. Twinking in this game isn't as big of a problem as what it was in past games.
What's that?
They've really fine tuned in, like, so to be able to invade somebody, you have to be within a certain range of level with them and a certain range of weapon level with them. So you can't go to like a max out weapon, but keep yourself at like level 10 and kill a bunch of newbies in one shot. That was something you could do in Dark Souls 1. Can't do that in this.
Mm.
But you can still go to the end game, get like end game weapons that have status effects that
Yeah.
a new player wouldn't have any way of healing from, like Scarlet Rot, and then like Scarlet Rot them and then run away and watch them just die.
That's
Yep.
so mean.
It is mean. It is
is.
extremely mean.
yeah.
But
I'm
yeah.
very happy to hear though that they've taken the stance of we're not going to nerf things to the ground. We're going to buff things.
That was the biggest thing. And with this game more so than the Dark Souls games, I feel like they can get away with it. I think they're aware that PvP is not worth balancing around in Elden Ring. I think there's too many things in the game for them
Well, it's
to
too hard.
balance. Yeah,
It's way like that's the biggest thing. Like even MMOs and like other PvP games, like they will not nerf or buff based on PvP for the most part because of how hard it is to fucking like balance that out between PvE and PvP, right? Like
Right.
there's a really hard it's really hard to do that because you're gonna piss one person off or the other. Like you're gonna piss one group of people off versus the other. Like
Yeah. So
there's
they're
no
taking the
there's no
stance
win.
on they're increasing the fun of the less fun builds to try to bring them up to the standard that the
I like
upper
that.
tier
Yeah,
builds.
I,
Yeah,
I,
I
I
like
like
that as
that
well.
because it makes a lot of other builds that wouldn't necessarily be viable at that point, and
Dude,
I
everybody
think
was
that's one game.
complaining that
I
like the strength builds were
Yeah,
garbage in this game.
that was my biggest problem. Is like I played a strength build and I was like, dude, this just feels like weak as fuck, man. Like I am not doing anything. This is ridiculous. And for the amount of investment that you have to put in for a strength build to wield some of those, like it was not worth it. Like it
Oh,
was not worth it.
one thing that's underrated with this strength build overhaul too is they increased the amount of blockability that colossal weapons have. So you
Right.
actually can get away with blocking with your sword, and it's gonna do not as great as a shield, but like
Hey, as long as
pretty
it's
decent.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, and
as
then
long as
maybe
it's
you'll
something.
use your guard counter and stuff more often too.
Exactly. Because that was the biggest thing with me with my strength holy build or my strength faith build was like there wasn't any getting away from it if you like got into a section of the fight where you were just fucked. You were just like, okay, well I'm dead. No,
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
block, but it's not going to do anything. You know.
So yeah, it's all really good. They're doing it in the right direction. Hopefully they hotfix the issues that popped up, and I want them to keep doing this because I'm fine with them nerfing like the extreme outliers. Like Madness
Yeah,
needed to be fixed. It's the same
100%
with
madness needed
like
to be
the
fixed.
with that
So does
fire.
bleeding. So does bleeding and freeze as well. Like in some instances, like those are even bullshit at certain times with
Yeah,
certain
freeze.
builds.
I think they've gotten into a decent spot with. Bleed, the swarm of flies was warranted.
Yeah.
I'm still a little sad that they shadow nerfed the rivers of blood. I understand that it was
It needed it
frustrating.
though. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
would have never thought the day would have come where this podcast turns into Enigma and Bill sitting here talking for a good 20 minutes about a Souls-like game.
Hey man,
right?
I enjoy Elden Ring. That's like it's like I
I'm
said when
happy
we
for you,
reviewed
man.
it
I
the
just
first
would
time.
have, I never would have thought.
It's like I said when we reviewed it the first time. Like this is actually one of those kinds of games like Elden Ring. I don't think I would ever be able to play like Dark Souls, but Elden Ring, there's something about it that's just it's easier to get into. You know.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
happy for
good
you.
patch. I hope they keep moving forward with it and continue to like see what's being used and bringing stuff up instead of nerfing things down.
Yeah.
It's a refreshing change of pace to most
I
patch nerfs being like nerf this, nerf that, and like no buffs whatsoever. They're
I
embracing the
will
fun, and it's good.
I will simp for any company that nerfs or that buffs instead of nerfs, like 100%. Because that's the way that they should be. It should not be a hey we found fun let's ruin it. It should be hey we found fun let's make this other build that is not fun and then
Looking at you, Borderlands. That's what killed Borderlands 3,
exactly
honestly.
Yeah,
Well,
I did hear about that. I hope
exactly.
they don't go down that route in Tiny Tina's.
there is another game company that likes to do that. And this is going to move us into, because we have 15 minutes boys, to go through all
For
the news and
news?
shit. News,
Great.
yeah.
I mean you had 5 fucking
Fuck
games.
you, man.
Yeah,
Fuck
right.
you, bro. Okay, so there's a company that also likes to nerf stuff and fuck shit over, and I thought that we were gonna have
How we were too.
I thought we were gonna be on the same page here, but apparently we're not. World of Warcraft Dragonflight DLC got announced along with Wrath of the Lich King Classic.
Yeah, I'm still of the firm believer of fuck Wrath of the Lich King Classic. This is ridiculous that we're going back to play the same game we played 14 years ago, and they're just going to continue to release fucking newer iterations of it. Most lazy fucking thing I've ever seen. Whatever.
So I'm in the boat that I'm like, dude, I could fucking like, I don't know, man. The stuff with the DLC or the new expansion for WoW, like, okay, why are you excited? Why are you excited about? Or not excited about? Why do you think they're doing a good thing here? Like,
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily excited
He's
for
a
it.
Blizzard show.
Yeah, I was going to say a Blizzard shill. Here we go.
Hey, I would rather be a Blizzard shill than an Epic shill. I'm just gonna say that out right now. Right now, just gonna say that.
You're taking a stand.
That's a
and I don't know if
spicy
I agree with
stand.
that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know, but I'm
See.
just saying. I'm just saying. But I wouldn't say necessarily I'm excited for it. I can see that at least they're starting to go down the route of, hey, we fucked up with World of Warcraft, and they're admitting it, right? Like they're finally saying, like the past 2 expansions, they've been like, no, you guys are crazy, you guys are crazy, you guys are crazy. World of Warcraft is amazing. Fucking, Battle for Azeroth was amazing. Blah 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 blah. All the last 2.
What are they doing to right their wrongs? I guess.
Not shit.
Let me get into it.
Not
Let
shit.
me get into it.
I want to
Not
know. Give us
shit.
the juice.
Let me get into it. So, like I said, again, I'm not excited for the fact that we have another fucking expansion from World of Warcraft that's probably going to be lackluster. What I am excited for is that they're actually accepting the fact that they fucked up and they're trying to fix it. And a couple of the fixes, which I'm surprised that you're not more on board with, Sin, considering the fact that you fucking loved World of Warcraft Classic. You know?
I like vanilla WoW.
Well, this expansion they're toting is like a
It's,
return to vanilla WoW.
So they've touted a lot. They've touted a lot of shit. You're talking about a company that has
They've touted a lot of shit, but they've never
And they've
actually
never
put
lived up to
forward
it.
systems.
They don't ever
They've
live
never
up
actually
to it.
they've never actually put forward systems. They've always said, "Hey, this is going to be a return to World of Warcraft," and then we got the same bullshit that we got.
I will trust
with
this when it
Legion.
comes out, and I actually see it.
So will I. So,
But
so
I
I'm,
don't-
I'm just
I don't-
I'm just giving you the facts that I have been digging. Right? If you liked classic World of Warcraft, they have talent systems now. They're going away from the fucking the Heart of Azeroth shit.
I
Right?
know.
So they're going away from the replacement of borrowed power, right? They're going back to talent trees where you're going to have more focus on the systems. You're going to have more focus on, or less of a focus on renowned systems. You're going to have less of a focus on borrowed power systems like Heart of Azeroth or Covenants or anything like that, right? They're returning back to a more simpler time where it's going to be back to actual class identity and actual what's it called? Class and I'm getting tongue tied right now. Class and spec identity, right? So if you're a druid and you're a resto druid, you actually have an identity. You're not just druid number 2557387, right? You can actually characterize yourself as I am resto druid and these are my talents, right?
I don't. Here's the thing about it, right? And here's the thing about that. I mean, I saw that they were doing that, right? And it doesn't take a shit ton of digging to understand that they're doing that. But they're not doing anything new. Like this is not something. This is not like they all of a sudden came across this idea of like, oh fuck, people will actually want class
I never
identity.
said that they were doing it new.
I know. I'm arguing
their new ones.
I'm just saying my point of why I don't like that stuff doesn't excite me. You said like why you're surprised because I liked that vanilla. It's like Steven says, it's a little too late. Like all of this stuff is too late. Like the whole thing about this is that this is reactionary shit, which I don't believe that they're actually gonna like really hold true to it. Like I think that the whole thing was a lot of the stuff they came out with. They were like, oh hey, by the way, we're adding flying mounts into the game that you're gonna get right off of day one. We're gonna give you a talent progression system because every fucking talent or every class felt the exact same regardless of what spec you were running, and everybody felt the exact same. Period. Well, guess what? That's not going to change. It really isn't because people are still going to min-max the shit out of it to figure out like, okay, what's the one that does the highest DPS? What does the most heals? What does whatever? Like that's.
Yeah, but at least you have a choice with a talent system if you want to go down the route of going down the cookie cutter fucking build.
Right, but the reality of it is, if you want, like, yes, you have a choice theoretically, but do you really have a choice? Like in a game?
Yeah, you have a choice, 100%. You're a proponent whenever we go into games like what's it called?
Lost Ark.
Lost Ark. You don't go down the cookie cutter route.
You're right.
Should be going down the cookie cutter route, but you don't.
Right, but that's what the point that I'm trying to say is I'm not saying that it's that they're coming up with something innovative or different or that this is like whatever, but I'm just saying most people, and again, if I want to get to an in-game raid and really do like in-game raiding, and I think Lost Ark is a little bit different because in-game Lost Ark raiding is not like in-game Lost Ark here. Like I can be a complete off-build shoot in that game, supplement it with a lot of other shit, and still be a viable option.
No, you can't.
Yes, you
100%. No, you can't, because when it comes down to Lost Ark, they already have people that are checking your fucking build, and if you don't have the specific build that they want, you're getting kicked.
Okay, so right, but what I'm saying is that that's proving my point in the fact that you have to run the build that is reliable. All I'm saying is that this expansion is, to me, is just more Blizzard doing Blizzard things. Like, yes, okay, they lost a huge amount of player base, so they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna bring back class identity. Well, no shit, you have a game that nobody has class identity, but in reality, this is not gonna differentiate. People are still gonna min max the fucking game. Yes, you have the option, but at the end of the day, you're gonna fucking play the one class or the way that class needs to be played to be able to do any of the content, in-game content. Now, yeah, I can.
So if that's the case, why are you being bitchy about it to Blizzard? Why aren't you being bitchy about it to the community? Because it's not Blizzard's fault that the community is going down cookie cutter route. They're just giving them the options to do so.
Because I can go down and say it's Blizzard's fault for not making all of the classes or whatever else or roles and things like that a more viable option
for all centuries.
Huh?
Trying to get Bill's attention.
Oh,
waving down there.
But I just and it's not just that, like, and I also too, like, yes, I think I don't like the WoW community as a whole. Like, I mean, I think that there are a lot of the reasons for the downfall of the game. I think that also too, like, this content,
downfall of humanity.
They've not done shit for, like, the lore. Like, they're completely just scrapping the lore that they had and they have somewhat built, and like, we're not getting a Sylvanas like finalization or anything. You got the jailer, like, the whole world's coming apart, and now we're like, oh hey, by the way, we're doing Mist of Pandaria. We're going to a fucking island with a bunch of dragons. So I don't know, man. There's a lot here. Like, and we have 15 minutes to try to cover all of this stuff, but
I'm just saying that some of the better, the only reason why I even brought it up was because some of the stuff that they are saying that they want to do, if they do it, will bring World of Warcraft back to a decent state. It's not going to be great. I'm not saying that it's going to be amazing, but it will bring it away from the precipice that they're at right now, where they're going to jump themselves over a cliff.
I mean, I guess congratulations that they're taking.
Because you've got a new flight system that, while granted it's nice and it looks good, because I think it does look really nice. They're actually putting in like actual physics to your flight animations, right? It's been ripped right out of Guild Wars 2, essentially.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the biggest thing with that I'm like, really? Like when I say ripped, I mean like down to animation. Like the animation is the exact fucking same. So, granted, Guild Wars 2 has an amazing fucking mount system, right? Like, they have an amazing flight and mount system in their game, and people have been asking Blizzard to try and mimic that for a long time, because it's one of those things where people actually want their mounts to have.
They shall.
Yeah, they want their mounts to actually have fucking feeling, right? Instead of just being flapping in the fucking wind and you fucking fly in a straight line, right? Now they're actually going to be like a gliding system, kind of like the gliders in.
Wow, this Guild shit is like identical to it. I'm watching like
it is. Yeah, no, it's 100%, and that's one area that I can be like, really, fucking World of Warcraft, you couldn't have at least fucking changed up the animation just a little bit. But yeah, they ripped it right out of Guild Wars 2. Another thing that they ripped off that I think is actually better for them is they've ripped off Final Fantasy's profession system, which is good and bad in two different ways, right? Like, granted, they didn't, Final Fantasy didn't really invent the proficiency or the profession systems where you actually had to do shit, right? But the new profession systems are actually going to have like profession clothing and like gear that you have to use. It's going to have an entire progression system to the profession systems. They're introducing a new thing that's crafter's writs that you can actually like ask, or you can put forward orders to other people. Yeah, you can actually put forward like work orders to people like crafters, and they can make money off of that if they're a high crafting, right? And they have high quality now in the game, like high quality items and weapons and gear and everything like that. So that's one good thing that I saw. I was like, okay, that's kind of nice. I can accept that, as because their profession system in World of Warcraft right now is completely shit. It's been shit for a long time, right? Like, we're still in like early 1990s profession system. We're in 2022, so I don't know. One of the big no-nos of my entire time is like, make sure that you have your crafting system actually fun to play in, right? They're talking about a huge new open world zone. They actually had to maximize their view distance on, which It is what it is. Reps are not a focus anymore, which is a really good thing in my opinion. I think that they relied entirely too much on reps in the past, and they shouldn't have. And it got really, really boring. They got that new race as well, which I don't know. What do you think about the new race? I'm not too. Yeah.
Like, it's I don't know, man. This is
So for those of you guys that don't know what the
Pandarian.
race
It's
is,
dragons.
it's
Eat a
a
fucking
it's a dragon.
dragon.
It's a bit. It's
God
essentially the
almighty.
Worgen. I don't if you guys have ever played World of Warcraft, the Worgens have two different types of variation, right? They have their human form and they have their werewolf form, right? Well, this is now a dragon. You're a half dragon, half human. You can customize both your human and your dragon, and your dragon form has different abilities. So
It's just
take it or leave it. I'm not
it-
too hyped about it. It's kind of cool, but
I don't know, man. WoW's like people in chat are saying, like I don't care. Like WoW is just. I think it
The
needs
only
to set
dragon
itself.
I need is the Aura.
Dragon D's nuts.
It needs
Oh, yeah, I
to.
thought
It
that
needs
was what you were about to say.
to set itself. It needs to go. The Blizzard needs to do something new, something creative with an MMO. I think they have the chops to do it, man. But like, let this game fucking die. It like, and so it doesn't kill itself. Like, I don't know. It needs to go. WoW 2, sure, whatever, something. Bring something.
Yeah, but WoW 2 is gonna. I don't think that they could do another WoW 2.
I think
that
no, I
you
don't.
could
I don't
build
think they need to
another
do WoW. I think they need to build a game from the ground up in the state of what it is in the world of what MMOs are right now, right? Like Lost Ark, hate it or leave it, the new patch, whatever, pay to win, all this kind of stuff. Like hate it or leave it, or hate it or love it. It's changed things. Final Fantasy's changed things. Genshin Impact's changed things. Like the world has evolved in MMOs. We need something new. Like we need something new. And I think Blizzard could do it, right? You've got Riot who's saying fuck the game ain't ever ship because they want to make sure it's perfect. Like, I don't know. So yeah, I'm just saying. Like, give us something new. Moving on past this so that we can engage the other two people that are in our podcast, which is Bill
the
and
1 minute we
and
have left.
Scruffy. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 4 got announced.
Yes. I forgot about that,
Yeah.
honestly. Yes. Let's go.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. Well, I still gotta play
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3, but can't wait.
I really have no strong opinion about Kingdom Hearts, honestly. So like,
People do. There's a lot of people that do. People are not happy with the
whatever.
art style.
I know Sin has a strong opinion.
yeah,
I don't give a-
Sin has a strong
That's
opinion.
I don't give a fuck about this
I'm-
game.
I'm
I
of
don't-
the I'm of the
It's
opinion
okay
that
when
it'll-
Kingdom
it'll
Hearts
just be
4
another
comes
Kingdom
out,
Hearts.
he'll pick it up and love it just like simulator games and be like, yeah, this is the
Right?
best
Yeah.
thing ever.
No,
Hey, who knows? I mean, it could be another 12 years before we get this.
no. Well, people are not happy with the art style they took.
Why not?
They are
What's
really not
that?
happy with the art style they took.
Yeah,
it's,
some people.
it's
are a
canon
little-
though. It's a canon art style.
What kind of art style did
Yeah.
they take?
More
Like
they're
realism.
it's more of a hyper realistic art style.
Oh.
Which is also due to it running on, I think, Unreal Engine 5. They wanted to update a lot of graphics. So things look a lot more clean, a lot more realistic. But I don't know. I think it's okay. I think Sora looks a little off to me, but as I think when
Well,
you're gonna be
it's
playing the game, it's
canon.
gonna be
They did an interview with the dude,
Yeah.
and they're
Well,
like,
he's
yeah,
supposed to be older,
he's
too.
in a like a limbo
Yeah.
universe type thing, and it
Was it a simulation?
changes. Not necessarily a simulation, but like an afterlife
Yes.
style thing,
Sleep,
and it changes
things like that.
effectively how he looks. So the
Yeah.
design changes are intentional, and that's why Goofy's and
I've heard
Donald's
some
design changes
theories.
haven't changed because
Yeah.
they are still in like the regular world.
They're
Yeah.
damn cartoons. You can't kill a cartoon.
Yeah, but they
There's some
like
theories that are pretty cool about Sora, and even down to like the patterns of his hair, of like his hair is down because of his old self or something when he was with
Yeah.
Roxas.
But it was
weird.
it was confirmed that that's the reason that the art style for
Yeah.
Sora's segment is so different from like the standard.
Dude, gamers are dicks, man. We bitch about everything, like everything. So, hey, man, look,
Which
whatever.
world?
I mean,
That's why.
when you get this game, in
Release
2027
games that are worth us not bitching about, and we won't bitch about them.
Yeah, but
No,
we're gonna
I'm not
bitch
talking. I'm talking about.
anything.
I'm talking about like bitching about like the art style,
Yeah.
like of it. I
Oh.
don't know. Whatever.
It's good news for Kingdom Hearts fans. So
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
More
also a real like they
Keyblades.
also announced a mobile game that's coming out.
of
course it is.
Actually, look pretty good too.
Yeah, it looks like a decent mobile game. Like it
Yeah.
looks like as good as Genshin Impact, like mobile. So I'm kind of excited to see how that turns out.
Huh. Okay. Sony announced a subscription plan, and they also want to add ads into their free-to-play Sony games.
Oh, that's some Ready Player One shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, adding an ad here and there, like everybody's adding
Pop-up
ads.
so, based on Ready Player One. That was funny.
They got to make money somewhere, but I don't know if like the subscription.
I mean, from the subscription?
Yeah, the subscription. Like, that's the thing is the subscription plan. I'm like, okay, you're making money there, man. Like your games really aren't free to. They're not really free to play because you have to pay to be able to play. Like I don't know. But Bill, what's your thought? I mean, you're the resident Sony person here. Even though I will say I have been playing on a PS5 controller lately and really enjoying it.
The subscription plan's a good move in the right direction. I think it's a little bit weird that PlayStation Now is being sucked into that subscription model, and it's like the second tier. I figured they would have had PlayStation Now stay like the base tier, because effectively, with it being like the second tier, which is, I can't remember what the price point is, but it's basically the cost of PlayStation Plus and the cost of PlayStation Now, same way it was before. So it's odd, and it's also not exactly incentivizing anybody that doesn't own a PlayStation console to be able to take advantage of it, because PlayStation Now used to be the only way for people that didn't own a Sony console to play any of the Sony games outside of the few that have released on PC.
So I'll break it down here. PlayStation Plus Essential is $10 a month in the US. It is the same benefits of PlayStation Plus members normally get. So you get 2 monthly downloads, exclusive discounts, cloud storage, online multiplayer access. Yeah. So basically, it's $10 a month. For what isn't that the same? It's the standard deal, yeah. PlayStation Plus Extra provides the same as the Essential, but it adds 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from third-party catalogs and PlayStation Studios. Extra tier are downloadable for play. That's $14.99 a month. PlayStation Plus Premium provides the same as the True, but it adds 340 additional games, including PS3 games via cloud streaming. So that is weird. Why would they not just allow you to download the damn game? I don't understand why they go with the cloud streaming aspect.
It's only the PS3 games that are cloud streaming.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Isn't that why?
The emulation software is weird with that console, and they have not put together, they haven't put the capital forward to build the infrastructure for proper emulation of PS3 games. It's significantly different than PS1, PS2, and it's significantly different than PS4, PS5. Like, you can easily emulate the PS1 and PS2 games, and PS4 and PS5 are close enough that they still run on the same hardware fine. PS3 is like that weird middle ground.
Is that because they went with the cell processor?
Yeah, something about the way the PS3 was built is it does not play nice with PS4 and PS5 hardware, and getting an emulator to run it is a challenge, and they just haven't put the capital forward for it. So you get cloud gaming on PS3.
And then PlayStation Plus PlayStation Plus Premium is the one that gives you the streaming, but it also gives you the ability to stream to PC. Yeah,
that's the PlayStation.
But that's only original. That's only no, customers can stream you games using PS4 and PS5 consoles. Oh no, that's only PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PSP, and PS4 games. It's not and PlayStation 3. It's not the PlayStation 5 games, right? It doesn't say anything about the PlayStation 5 being able to be streamed on PC.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up myself.
Because it says
I wasn't expecting us to actually get to it today.
PlayStation Plus Premium provide all the benefits of Essential and Extra. Adds 340 additional games, including PS3 games available via cloud. A catalog of beloved classics games available in both streaming and download options for PlayStation, PS2, and PSP generations. Cloud streaming access to original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS4 games offered in the extra and premium tier markets where PlayStation Now is currently available. Customers can stream games using PS4, PS5 consoles, and PC.
Right.
So I don't know if that includes the PS5 games. I like the move here, but I think it's too complicated. I think it's just overly complicated. And I feel like like I like Xbox's like system. Like where it's just basically like, hey, there's one tier here. This is the price. Xbox Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And if you have Ultimate, you get the PC stuff. And then if you don't, then you have the console stuff. Like, I don't know. But Xbox, of course, it's more expensive.
So yeah, the ability to stream the games to PC is locked behind the premium thing, which is $18 a month. So it was $10 a month for PlayStation Plus like base before, and then the PlayStation Now, which has gotten integrated into this final tier, is like it used to be like $6 or $7 a month, and now it's just integrated into this tier. The issue with that is like I was saying, nobody that doesn't own a PS5 or PS4 is going to get the PlayStation Plus Premium, and PlayStation Now was pretty well exclusively used by people that didn't own a PS4 and PS5. So
right.
There's no incentive for those players to keep playing Sony games with it being locked behind this tier with a bunch of shit that they're never going to use.
Right. I wonder if a lot of this is with the streaming stuff has to do with their purchase of Gaikai, because they own Gaikai for a long time and they've never really done it. 100%
anything. This is them. They purchased the infrastructure so that they can start doing this kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that they kind of go into this and like see the community response and either separate PlayStation Now and have it like, yes, you can get PlayStation Now grouped into your PlayStation Plus Premium, but also have it as like a separate purchasing point still.
I would like them to also siphon off and make, because they bought a PC, they have a PC division now, like just to make a PC version. They would say, hey, here's, instead of having to pay $18 because you're not really going to benefit from the other shit, you know, here's $10 a month and you get access to all the streaming software on PC. Like, I think that'd be a strong argument against
PlayStation
Xbox.
PC membership. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I'd pay for it. So
I'd pay for that.
I have a feeling it'll come eventually. I don't think it's going to come anytime soon, but
it seems like getting their head in the way, at least.
I don't think it'll come anytime soon.
Yeah, this is a start. It's a somewhat decent start. I'm kind of with you on it being overly convoluted. Like, why do you need 3 tiers of things? But it is what it is.
It's Sony, man. They're an Asian company.
You get a pretty decent deal if you get the quarterly or yearly bundles, though. They do mark it down.
Well, I think it's like what, $10 a month, right? If you do it for the year, it's $120 for the premium.
Yeah, $120.
So, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, you know,
that's not bad. That's any other sub, but
yeah. So
is it comparable to like other subs? I don't know. Like,
if you own a PS5 console, I think it 100% is. I think if you own a Sony console, these are very good changes. If you don't own a Sony console, you have no reason to care. It doesn't change anything in the landscape of Xbox versus
and I don't think
PlayStation on that front.
I don't think that they did. Like, the problem that I think here is that it didn't do anything to push people to buy a Sony console, right? It wasn't like, oh my God, now they have this, now I'm going to go buy a Sony. Like, I'm going to go out there and rush to buy a Sony console. I think that if they were to target the PC market and I think they would see a bigger push.
I think this is groundwork. I think this is groundwork building for that eventual push to something PC oriented.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
And that might be why they locked PlayStation Now behind the premium thing, because they have something else planned for PC specifically. That's my big hope, but that's speculation.
Just give us Bloodborne. I'll keep saying it.
Well, we're at the time for quick hits and then questions, guys. Quick hits, since we're on the PlayStation thing, your PS5 controllers, which I have been playing with, and I will say I actually like this a lot more than my Xbox Elite controller. I really enjoyed this thing, even though can't really take full advantage of it with most PC games, but some of the stuff I can.
Does it actually have like integrated like the haptics?
Yes, in Sony games it does. So like the God of War.
So God of War you were able to, and
Yep.
That's dope.
But you can update these now via PC. So before you could not update these. So if you had one and you wanted to get a firmware update for it or whatnot, you'd have to find someone that had a PlayStation. In fact, my local GameStop was like, "Hey, we can do that for you for a charge, to update your controller."
Of course they could. Fuck you, GameStop.
Yeah, seriously, they're really struggling.
Yeah. So $10, you can go in there and get Get your shit updated. Now you can
Please, anything.
for PC.
We're begging.
Which is what's funny is they threw in a console whenever you did it too. So it's $10. No, hey, by the way, here's a console.
I still find it wild how quickly they adopted. Like the PS5 hasn't been out for that long, and like it took them forever to get PS4 access on Steam. So
yeah. Well, again, like we said just a minute ago, I think it's moving toward. I think Xbox is forcing the hand of a lot of these companies to be like, hey, you guys got to get with it, and I think it's good. Like it's a good movement. Like Sony,
it is
move,
good.
like move toward PC, man.
Please.
Embrace us so we can play your games. Terra is shutting down, by the way. June.
It's sad,
right?
honestly. I mean, I was never too big into it, but I think it's just sad in general to see MMOs die.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I guess they can't live forever. I mean, unless you're WoW,
No,
but
I mean, I was gonna say there are some exceptions, but yeah.
But
we all know they can't live forever unless you're WoW, because if you're a shit game, you're gonna die regardless. So
yeah, well, R.I.P. Wildstar. Moment of silence.
I was gonna say.
Another game that died, but yet still getting content. Outriders DLC coming out, boys, at
Is it
$40
really still
fucking dollars.
wow.
$40 fucking dollars.
That's
Wow.
like another game, bro.
$40, bro.
And it's gonna be one raid boss.
It's
Probably.
literally the. Let me see if I can find it. You know what's crazy is that Terra just popped up on my Steam. It's like, hey, it says features recommended. go play Terra.
That's Jesus.
Outright
$40 for a DLC on a game that is pulling just over 1,000 players concurrent.
40
or no, sorry, just over 1,000 players peak. 600 players concurrent.
Peak, yeah.
I was gonna say that can't.
So the only saving grace here is that they're saying, and we don't know yet, but they're saying it's 48 hours worth of content.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's cut that into like, less than half. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, that came out
40 hours worth of
48
that's
hours.
more than what the base game was by like double.
Yeah, 48 hours worth of content. I really wanted to like Outriders, man. I really wanted to like that game.
Dude, there's so many red flags through everything on that though.
Especially the demo.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the biggest red flag.
Yeah. Anyway, so that happened. Oh, and by the way, Kim Kardashian is suing Roblox for sex tape. Because
wild.
Because her kid found the sex tape on Roblox.
What a time to live in. Like,
Roblox is wild, dude.
Roblox is the true Wild Wild West. That is the metaverse.
Yeah,
They're
Unchained.
Roblox. They don't give a shit. But I just find it funny that she's suing Roblox when I'm like, there's plenty of other sites that you can get. Like, does your kid not have access to the internet? Like, it's everywhere. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
right.
So anyway, I don't know. So that happened. I don't believe we have any questions, right? Nobody asked any questions.
Nah. I do have one thing I want to bring up though. Sure. I don't know if you guys are into like content creator boxing or anything, but there's a boxing event coming up at mid-May called Creator Clash that is pretty interesting. Got a bunch of YouTubers and stuff on that. It's put together by iDubbbz. Yeah.
Word.
Interesting. He's boxing Dr. Mike.
I love Dr. Mike, bro.
It's got the Epic Mealtime Dude versus Ego Raptor, Aaron from Game Grumps. So that's an interesting one. Just a Minx is fighting a TikToker yodeling Haley. So.
Oh my god, dude, I can't. I might sub just to see that fight so I can see the person I want to see get knocked the fuck out. So.
And then one of the funniest ones is Michael Reeve versus Grand Stefan. I think that one's going to be.
Wasn't
the guy who makes like robots, right? Michael Reeves. Michael Reeves.
Michael Reeves.
Like robots. Yeah.
Isn't Moist Critical in there?
He's announcing.
Oh, he's announcing.
It's Moist Critical, XQC, FaZe Sensei, and Svand TV.
Never mind. I'm not. I'm out. You said XQC. I'm not. I can't, dude. Can I mute one of them? If I could just mute him, that'd be great.
If it makes you feel better, nobody in this event is getting paid. It's all going to charity.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just donate to the charity myself and then not. Well, I don't know. Watch highlights. Cool. When's the event?
Yeah. The event is May 14th.
All right, just around the corner.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, awesome, guys. Well, that is episode 56 wrapped up. I know we went a little bit long, but we obviously had a lot to talk about, and I am going to get blamed because I played too many games.
Me.
So
If
Like
I
you
may,
have had a
would,
lot to talk about. Yeah.
I would like to just announce my upcoming event,
no.
if I may.
Absolutely.
okay.
Get it.
I'm gonna go. But no, I am doing a 24-hour birthday stream this April 28th, and it's gonna go until 8 p.m. on the 28th to 8 p.m. on the 29th, and it's gonna be chock full of game giveaways because I want to give back to everybody. Party games, community games, challenges,
Fall.
including a few. Well, we'll get into that. Those are a little bit more secret, and then also a Little Debbie's mukbang tier list. I've got like 12 boxes of Little Debbie snacks that we're going to be rating on a tier list. I think that's gonna be a lot of
Delicious.
fun. Hell yeah, dude.
If Swiss rolls don't win, I riot.
Whew, they're gonna be up there. We'll see. We'll leave it for the
Bro, first
the-
off,
the,
cosmic brownies and fudge rounds are the only S tier Little Debbie snacks. Period.
Yo, fudge rounds are up there.
That's-
Cosmic brownies, I
that's up
think,
there.
are C tier top.
I've
They're
got
a little
some-
bit cheap.
Ooh,
No, man, I like the strawberry shortcake.
we've got
rolls.
those too.
Yo, we
Those
just
are-
we
those
just
are the
actually
best.
finished off a box of those, and
Those are the fucking best, man.
Yeah, it's
Devil squares.
Yeah.
eh, I don't think I actually have the box of those. I've got a lot of boxes though. I've got a lot of stuff.
I'm excited for that actually.
Yeah, it's and that specifically, if you want to be there for that, is going to be 11 p.m. The night of the 28th.
Can
Eastern
I be
Standard.
You're
in,
gonna get a
can I be
real
in
sick
voice chat?
stomach and then be miserable the rest of
Right.
the time.
You're gonna get a sugar high and then crash.
Can I be in voice chat for that?
What's that?
Can I be in your voice chat for that?
Oh, for sure. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to drop a Discord event link.
Yeah, get it,
Sure.
get it, man, get it, man.
So that most
man.
likely will channel you to my Discord, but it's a place to be anyway.
Send me the link. I don't know if YouTube
Hold on,
will let
I can just-
somebody.
Can I copy the link?
Mm.
Well, because I can just copy it and do it. I think it will. I think I fucked everything up.
and send it to everybody.
I'm
I
pretty
think I sent it in everybody's chats.
Hold on.
Send it to me direct.
podcast.
Oh, there it is. Hey, it actually went through. Dope. Okay, cool.
So yeah, should be a good time. There's gonna be like 12 or something game giveaways, and there's a huge games listed. We have like over $900 worth of games. A lot of good ones on there, like Control, I think XCOM, it's the Aliens.
Isn't
take
Ghost
over the
Runner on there
world.
too? I think
What's that?
Ghost Runner.
Ghost Runner's on there. That was the most recent. Yeah, a lot of good ones.
Dude, you should have made it. You should have made a thing where you let Nady shave your head or cut your hair, and then gone to
Oh.
get your hair cut.
No, that actually been pretty good, but yeah.
You
Just
got-
let
I
him,
guess you
just
could-
let him shoot it as it is right now. It'll be a
Rest
lot better.
off, just go bald.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bro, Lord. Scruff. It's all right, Scruff. I'll donate
We're
a
so
bunch of money
terrible.
to you.
We're
Make
so
you feel
terrible.
better.
We still
Anyway,
we love you.
All right. Well, that is the show, guys. Check out the Discord link that we just sent in there. Again, 28th, right? At 8 p.m. is when it kicks off.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till the 29th, 8 p.m. Eastern
There you
Standard
go.
Time.
Anybody else have anything going on that they want to announce or talk about? Or not talk about, but just announce?
No.
Nope. Okay. All right, guys. Well, it's been an awesome show. Thank you for having us back again. I know it was a long time off, but shit happens. So we're back.
It did.
Happy to be back with a vengeance. And we cannot wait for our next episode in 2 weeks. Dude, you know what? Honestly, I'm looking forward to is episode 100. We
Dude,
gotta do something fucking massive.
We'll
for
have to do
episode 100.
something
Soon.
special.
Yeah, it's coming up. So.
Soon.
Anyway, guys, you guys have been amazing. Thank you for everybody that was here live in our channel. Again, if you didn't catch us live, we do this every other Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern across all of our channels. Make sure to join us. If you had to leave, go and check out the anchor.fm/pre-patch podcast or your favorite podcasting link. We're channel. We're all over there. So yeah, that's it, guys. We're out of here. We will catch you guys next time. See ya.
Much love, guys.
Later.
Bye.
Installation